Rodgers is finally signed. Thank you, Jesus, for the love of God. For everything that is holy, for everything that is shrooms, for everything that is ayahuasca. Finally, he's going to a still city where there's not a single blade of grass in sight. He's not going to be earthing anymore. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the Get Back. I'm your host, Lewis. Joined by Jess. Joined by Daniel.
Oh,
the prophecy has been written. It's written. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers is a Pittsburgh Steeler. Do you have any commentary? Yeah, I mean, I felt like this has been official for 3 months. Finally, it's happened.
You had a pre-prepared statement going.
You wanted to get. I'm not gonna lie. This is all off the cuff.
I know. I can see that.
This is all off the cuff, because I felt like this has been a thing for like the past 5 months, but it just wasn't in writing. So it's like I have to act surprised. You know what I mean? Like,
wait, you're right.
All these people be like breaking.
Oh my God, Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler! Oh my God!
Whoa!
Wow!
11-5, baby. Come on, they're gonna win.
You're too loud.
All right, fine, fair enough.
And now you messed up the thing in the back.
There you go.
Come on, guys, we're on TikTok now.
All right,
be better.
Have fun. Yeah, we're on fucking TikTok now. That is true. But
we finally took a step
But
forward.
when people are saying breaking news and
yeah, maybe it shouldn't be announced that way.
It's not breaking news. This isn't breaking for me.
No.
This is like he finally decided to walk in after taking off his shoes at the door.
Talk, they all agree that it's not really breaking, and that this is obviously this was happening, because why else would the Steelers would have waited this long? Like, that would be like negligence if they truly were this clueless at this point in time. I think they just had verbal reassurances that he was coming, and they just let the media scramble with it.
What do you think happened in that meeting? He was like, I just want to take my time and figure it out.
That's probably exactly what he said.
And he's like, all right, contract's still there, so you can sign it whatever you want.
And he probably told them, okay, that's probably going to be like a week before minicamp. I'm not coming anytime sooner than that. You understand? And they're probably will be like,
He'd probably been like, I need to go to Egypt. I need to go to the Amazon rainforest.
Yeah, you guys don't need to do all these things?
I don't think he would have disrespected Mike Tomlin like that. Like, if he truly had no intention to coming, because if he really wasn't, he would have told them no. He would have outright told them no. I just think he did not want to have any obligation with them before minicamp.
Well, I just wanted to have a conversation. And Aaron Glenn didn't want to have a conversation. So just wanted to have a conversation, guys. Why can't we just have conversations?
Yeah, so exactly. So they probably had a very thorough conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, obviously, they all agreed that he could just take his time coming back.
And I guess there had to be constant communication, being like, hey, is it this week?
Well, no, I don't even know if it's this week, but I think he told him right before minicamp. Don't expect me right before, that's it.
That's some level of trust.
Why would he tell them to keep? But I mean, what other choice do you have? They both need each other. He still wants to play in the NFL. You're the only team that's letting him do this.
Yeah,
you need a quarterback.
If there's one person who can flip on a dime, it's Aaron Rodgers. He could easily turn around and say,
But I feel like he's got more respect for Mike Tomlin that way.
Yeah.
And he probably also told them, like he said in public, dude, you don't have to wait for me. He said that publicly. You do not have to wait for me. If you find someone else, go and sign them. He never worked for the Steelers. He owes them actually nothing until you actually sign. And he just rode that fucking wave. They agreed to that shit. So, I mean,
look, I think it's a weird situation.
Hell yeah, it's weird.
And
it would only happen.
Of course. Because it has to.
Only you would do something like this.
Only you would find a way to
prolong
almost embarrass the Steelers.
Yeah,
Well, the Steelers are also embarrassing themselves because you didn't have to do like this. You could, if you knew if you were comfortable enough saying, no, we know for sure. Then we wouldn't be half as confused. Is he coming? Is he not coming? Is he coming? Is he not coming? But they embarrassed. They listen. That was their decision to wait.
Well, clearly they had a guarantee because they didn't draft the quarterback in the draft, which we all figured they would have if Rodgers wasn't coming. They brought DK Metcalf in. They brought pieces in, so they had a clear understanding that there was a guarantee in place. We just didn't hear about it or see it till yesterday afternoon.
Like I said, I think he pretty much said, I won't be here till minicamp, but if you need someone before then go right ahead. And they agree, and they obviously agreed to that because they didn't take anyone in the draft.
Right.
Hey, guys, don't disrespect the Ohio State champion, Will Howard, like that. Guys, 6th-round pick. Guys, the story is already written. Guys.
Oh, sorry.
Stop.
No, but you're right. Like, it's finally, thanks, Aaron. You prolonged your attention in the media. Good for you. Like, if he would have signed first week, we would not be talking about him. And I don't think he likes that.
the media loves this. What else would they be talking about in June? It's a lot of fodder.
Rashad Bateman.
But they're not. Rashad, you could talk about them, but you're not. Like
Yeah,
that's. I mean,
sure.
that's up. Like
NFL Network
feed each
loves
other.
this right now.
they feed each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
I have an ego.
And
you
you
need
like
ratings.
you like to report on that ego. So here we go.
Yeah, you need ratings.
I want views.
Win-win. There you go.
It is. It really
I want
is a
people to
win-win.
say my name, and you want to say my name.
Exactly.
Say my name, please. Thank you.
Exactly. There's a lot of things happening right now, and the media still chose to quote unquote break this.
Okay, NFL Network right now. What's being talked about?
Is it Good Morning Football?
Good Morning Football.
Yeah, they're talking about because I watched it at the 8:00 airing. It was half the show was about this.
Nope. Right now, no.
As of right now, they're talking about the Chiefs and the Bills.
Oh, is Melissa Etheridge on there? Is it the all
White lady?
girl?
White lady,
Yeah.
blonde hair.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're showing a suitcase full of luggage, apparently.
Oh yeah, so she's talking about her story. I didn't listen to the whole story, but she was on tour and she was waiting for her luggage, and I think it was somewhere near Buffalo, and it was like damaged, and someone yelled like, "Oh yeah, what would you expect?" Chiefs fan, like they said something crazy to her, but they talked about that.
Wow, there's nothing to talk about in football, is there? Wow. Oh, my suitcase got a dent in it. Ooh.
Oof.
Listen, yesterday and today, the Good Morning Football, they're doing like an all ladies thing.
All ladies?
Yeah, they had an all ladies
shout
cast
out.
yesterday.
Good for them.
And Melissa Etheridge is a repeat guest on that
that's
show.
nice.
So she's a big Chiefs fan, and I don't know if you guys know about the legend Melissa Etheridge. She had a great career in the 90s. She makes really good music. Not our
She made music?
Yeah, so you don't know
wow.
Melissa Etheridge,
No.
which is fine.
No idea.
Well, she's actually a very, she's reputable, which is why she's on there. They wouldn't have
Good for
nobody.
her.
It's very cool they're doing that. We could do it on a more busier month of the
That
NFL
is
season.
true. That's true, and
Do
I thought
it
about
like
that.
free agency frenzy.
I honestly thought about
maybe?
that. I was like, they could do an all-female cast like during the season, but I'm like, their main voices for the NFL are male anchors when it comes to the season.
And ratings.
And,
They need that.
I think their main audience, which is still men, when it comes to the actual game, and this is okay, ladies, we can accept. I mean, I don't know, but a lot of men prefer to talk about football with men. At least you can be, but
Yeah. Unless you're Mina Kimes.
yeah.
Mina Kimes is fantastic.
She's great.
Or unless you're...
I mean, obviously, all these news and all these broadcasts for NFL pre-games, they have female analyzed, so they're a part of all the shows. But like a full female cast specifically for like game day, I don't know if they've ever done it. They could,
Never.
but I just don't think
they
they would.
They could.
Get Mina
They
Kimes
very
on
easily
there. Get...
I'm sure they have done.
What's-
They didn't have done this. Maybe we have to figure this out.
What's her name that's married to Macaulay Culkin? Something... Brenda Song.
Brenda
Get
Song.
her on there. She's fantastic. Get her for a Rams game. Fantastic.
They're probably gonna bring her in.
That would be awesome. Like, just why not? Make it fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and there's great female NFL analyzers and journalists and broadcasters and reporters and anchors that do amazing jobs.
And even just for even with the men, just make it fun. Sometimes it's boring hearing Joe Buck just be like, and a first down there for Tampa.
I mean, look at so look at Channel 2. Well,
I mean, what a
we're in
great
New York,
slant route
so
right
look
there.
At CBS and Fox pre-games. The whole panel, it's like
Male.
8, and they're all male,
All male.
8 dudes,
which
yeah.
is fine.
Even the
because
reporters are
most
male.
Of them,
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are former NFL players,
Mm-hmm.
former NFL coach, and I feel like why not have a representation of what the league actually is? So it's not a slight that there's no females on there, but that's just don't expect one.
Or
to
have
be on
more
there.
special guests.
On
I guess.
ESPN. They usually have a female anchor in there.
Yeah.
Not just Mina Kimes reporting.
Yo, Mina
I
Kimes
don't
is great.
remember her name. What's her name?
Who?
The ESPN anchor.
Lisa Salters?
Lisa Salt.
Is she?
Oh, Kimberly
Is she
A.
for-
Martin.
yeah.
She does a lot of football.
What's her
Laura
name?
Rutledge.
The one for NBC, something
Oh.
Carry Champion. Is that
I
her?
was going to say her name. There's Maria. I forgot her name.
Maria something. Maria Taylor? No.
No.
Yeah.
no.
Wait. Am I right?
I don't know.
No, not Melissa Stark.
Sorry, we are butchering this right
Not
now.
Melissa Stark. Maria Taylor. Yes.
Yes, Maria. You were
We are
right.
correct.
You were right.
Yo, I know my. Yo,
And she's
come on,
great.
ladies.
You're talking about NBC
Yeah.
Sunday night.
Yeah.
She's good.
She's good. She's real good.
I think that panel's underrated.
And you know what I like?
Chris Sims, Jason Garrett.
Jason Garrett's pretty good.
You're pretty good.
I like him. He's like, well, listen, guys, they're gonna need to run the ball here because if that was me on the line, I would be terrified. So, guys, you gotta get this stop and you gotta make that happen. And it's really quick.
I just feel like they're
Good for
just
them.
they're tiring after the whole day of football. You just get them like I don't want any people to talk football anymore. I just want to watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they just run through it real quick.
Yeah.
They're like, all right, 2 minutes or less. We don't want to talk.
We
about
gotta show
it.
highlights. We gotta show highlights.
Highlights. iPad babies.
Well,
Come on.
that's their benefit that they come on so late. They have a boatload for the highlights from the day. So they don't need to spend so much time talking and analyzing and
About the one
commenting
game.
About one, yeah. So
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Rodgers is a Steeler.
Rodgers is a Steeler. God bless
Congrats.
him.
That division just got a lot better.
the Jets play him. So how you
Week
feel
one.
about that?
Week one.
We're going to
I think
see
we're
it,
gonna win.
and we're gonna vlog it
I think we're
in
gonna
a spot. We're gonna reserve a table somewhere. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna vlog it.
Yeah.
Either that or we'll live stream it.
Maybe Amity,
We're gonna vlog it.
or we're gonna find a good Jets bar. Another one.
We could.
We could.
But that's a big game. That's a big game week one. When is that
Yeah.
even? Is it Sunday night?
I don't
It
know.
should be.
Is that like a 1 o'clock?
I bet you.
all
Well, they
Jets-
can flex.
They could flex.
I think they might flex it now. I'll tell you.
All right, wait. Okay.
And I honestly think the Jets might win. The Jets can win.
Yes.
Look, I don't. I'm good, and I do say this with all respect, and I'm sure
That's a
everyone
1
agrees
o'clock game?
that no one feels like the Steelers are like an actual threat just because you have Aaron Rodgers now.
What's the Sunday night game? Sunday night is Ravens Bills. That's hard to flex.
Yeah,
That's
you know.
hard.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
flexing that.
Talk
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
staying
That's
1
hard.
o'clock. Respectfully.
But what about a 4:30 game?
Titans Broncos.
Oh, we can flex.
We
the
can
hell
flex
out
the
of
fuck out of
Come
that.
on.
Yeah,
They
we can
need to
flex.
flex that shit.
We can flex. Yep.
Okay, so the 4 o'clocks are Niners Seahawks. Probably not. That's
Yeah, no,
division.
they're-
Lions Packers. You can't. Texans Rams. Maybe. Titans Broncos would be the one.
Titans
and
Broncos.
Rams.
will flex.
But Cam Ward first game. They won't do it. Cam Ward first game. They won't do it. No way. Not for Cam Ward's
Yeah, but a
first
1
game.
o'clock game.
Yeah, he's still on.
Still on. Just
Yeah,
have
but
it
that- yeah, but that's
when
premium.
they-
And wait, if
Premium.
if that's in Denver, no way.
It is in Denver, I think so.
They're not starting 1 o'clock in Denver. That's almost.
So this Steelers and
11
Jets game is at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great, so we can be angry for the rest of the day.
Oh, that's right. We have to go there at 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, wait.
Well, there you go. I mean,
I mean, look.
we'll figure it out.
it-
Logistically, we will figure this
yeah.
out.
It makes the division better.
Yes, it does.
More competitive division.
Mhm.
Probably not the favorite.
No.
Not yet.
They're probably what? How many games do you think they could win? Maybe 9. Their offense is adding Aaron Rodgers is cool. Obviously, it's an upgrade, but the weapons that
But I
you
don't
have
think
at running
anyone's,
back
like,
and
afraid of
receiver, that offense is predicated on how good the defense is. That's the only reason why that offense is going to be decent, because the defense is going to set you up a good field position every single drive. That's the only reason why.
They got a tough schedule.
Yeah, they
guys.
play DK. They have DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin III.
Yeah, because isn't he playing like Joe Burrow twice?
Yeah,
And the
Burrow
Ravens
twice.
twice.
Ravens twice. Plays with Browns twice.
That's 4 games right there.
All right, so they play the Jets.
That's a painful 4 games right there.
They play Seattle. They play New England. Then they play the Vikings.
Tough game.
Then they play the Browns.
Easy.
Then they play the Bengals.
But division could be tough.
Could be tough.
Play Packers.
Play the Packers.
Chargers.
That's gonna be. They should flex for that game. Packers, Steelers.
I think it's already is. It's already.
It's an 8-20 game.
20 game.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a big game.
They
In
play the Colts. They
October.
play the Chargers. Play the Bills. 425.
Woo.
They play,
Play
the
the
Ravens. Play
Bears.
the Bears.
He's about to get his ass handed to him.
They
Play the
Dolphins.
Lions.
God
Play
bless
the Lions
him.
this year.
Woo.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That's
Not
why he
too
wanted to stay with the
crazy.
Jets.
Objectively, tough schedule.
Objective, it is a tougher schedule than people would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, their division is just tough, so their schedule's already tough.
I can see them as a wild card team. I can see them as
Yeah.
that.
You know,
Another one.
a simple Mike Tomlin wildcard team that gets eliminated in the first round. Yeah. Yeah, you know, standard, right, guys?
I think it depends on how they go into that wild card.
It's a customary, right? Like, it's something
Stop
that's
it.
always going to be there, you know? It's complimentary.
Hey,
if you will.
If Aaron Rodgers wants to get to the first round one more time, he's got the team for it.
Good for him. Aaron
got
Rodgers
the
in the
team for it.
playoffs, that's ratings. People are going to love that. It'll be his last playoff run ever. People are going to watch that. So,
For one game
for one game
on Netflix.
on Netflix. Well, maybe not many people are going to watch it. Nah, but shout out to Aaron Rodgers. He finally signed. And the realistic expectation for this team, for me, maybe 9 wins. Maybe.
I would think
Just
so.
because that defense is really good.
I think maybe like 10 or 11, but not winning the division. I think I can see him most being a first wild card. I don't see him winning the division, but I can see them in that first wild card spot as like their full potential.
Yeah, I guess. I want to see how the Bengals do as well, because that will predicate their position and how
Yeah.
many wins they have as well. So, you know, shout out to the Steelers. They got a guy who can still get it done. Now, whether the offensive line is going to hold up, that's a different question.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll talk about that more later on when the season's about to start. But overall, they
All
gotta
right.
they gotta upgrade.
We can spin the division on the wheel. We can talk about it.
We can talk about them right now.
Let's see.
Spin it.
Here we go. Spinning the wheel.
Here we go. Spinning that wheel. And it is the...
NFC South.
Ooh, what a mid-division. The NFC South. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
We're getting out the mid divisions early.
I like that. There we go. All right. NFC South is gone.
There it goes.
There we go. NFC South. So that is the Saints. That is the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Falcons.
Yep.
And that is one more team that I am not remembering right now, but I will remember in a little bit. Just give me a little bit of time to stall, and I will have the team for you. And we're going to potentially say this team, and it's the Carolina Panthers. There you go.
There
So
we go.
the NFC South.
Bottom up.
Yeah. Let's start bottom up.
The worst team in the NFL.
The New Orleans Saints. They will be the worst team in the NFL. There it goes, Jess. They will be. They
Got
will
our
be.
energy drink.
The Saints will be the worst team in the NFL this year. They potentially will have Tyler Shuck as their quarterback. They brought in a new coach, Kellen Moore. I think they are kind of committing to the tank. That's why I think they hired a new coach. They're like, listen, we're going to need an overhaul. You're going to be here for years. It's not going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be here. So they hired a new guy who they like and who they're definitely going to keep around to see if they can make it work. They are in cap hell. They just lost Derek Carr for his rest of his career. He retired. And they lost him last year due to injuries. They were awful. That's it. Rashid Shaheed was a bright spot. Chris Olave had concussions left and right. He might retire at some point if he gets another one. He might be the next Tua. And they're just not that good. They had the first 2 weeks of the season, they were electric.
Is my guy still there? The running back?
Kamara.
Alvin Kamara?
Yeah.
He is still
Yeah.
there. How old is he? 29, 30? I think he might be 30 now. Going into his 30 season.
Maybe I'll get him a third time as a Yellowstoner.
Maybe you can. He's only got to do anything on that offense, so you got good value right there. Not gonna lie.
29.
He's 29. So he's an older running back. Honestly, they need help everywhere. So this is going to be a year, the next year coming up, where they are just absolute ass. They're getting the first overall pick next year, most likely, unless they just want to win a game for funsies. But they're awful. Yeah, sad. They were awful last year. They're going to be awful again. More awful, I think, this year.
Awfuler.
Awfuler.
There you go.
There we go. That's a good, what is it? Verb? Adjective?
Verb.
Noun?
Not a noun. Verb.
It's a good verb to use. They're going to be awfuler.
That's not a word.
Shut up. When you're talking about the Saints, it's a word. Because they're that bad. So, yeah, anything else you want to comment on the Saints? Anything else?
Look. I can see this. I think this team's gonna be bad.
Yep.
I think the Derek Carr thing definitely shocked them because they weren't prepared for it. The way they handled that was also pretty piss poor.
Mm-hmm.
They're in cap hell, like you said. I won't be surprised if half this team is traded by the deadline. I think it'd be for their benefit to get Alvin Kamara out of there. If Chris Olave's healthy, he could be a good trade piece. Cameron Jones is a trade piece. And just completely just overhaul the whole team again. And just start from scratch and build through the draft because...
But they need a good coach.
They do.
They have Kellen Moore. Now, granted, he could be just a glorified offensive coordinator. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be hard to judge him based on the talent that's on the roster. So it's like... Is he going to be like a Gerard Mayo, where even though they're losing, is he like uplifting the team and like putting people in places where they could succeed? He could, but he could be better.
That's probably going to be the main focus on the season. Is, okay, is Kellen Moore going to be the guy going forward?
Is he competent? I think that's what you're looking. Is he competent?
Is he competent for Arch Manning? That's the question because they're getting. I'm sorry. They're getting Arch Manning.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sorry.
Arch, don't declare. Don't declare.
What?
Don't do it.
You're crazy.
He wants to go to the Saints. Stop. Awful team. You don't even know if the coach is good.
What are you, his father? You gonna be like Deion?
Yes.
Bad math in the Browns?
Yes. Don't declare. You have another year of eligibility. Play that. Get better. There you go.
Yeah, and I think in this division, if they do win some games, they're not going very far.
They'll win maybe 2, 3.
Yeah.
If they win 4, they're dumb. They just lost draft position. So
I mean, if I was them, I would start trading pieces out of there, and they could start as soon as training camp starts. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, thank you, Saints, for being awful and awful again. Thank you very much. The next team,
the most interesting team I feel like on this division,
Carolina Panthers.
I mean, it's probably the worst start they've had to a season I've seen from a quarterback.
Last year, Bryce Young was not good in the first 3 games, and he got benched for it. And, Andy Dalton dealt with some things. I think he was in a car accident or something. That's why Bryce Young had to start again.
Yeah.
And then Bryce Young actually showed flashes of what he was at Alabama. He showed that he was a competent quarterback, that he could make reads and that he could hit guys that are open. He could hit guys in stride, and that he just looked better. Not great, but better.
Right.
And whether that's him being good or not in the future, we shall see. But he showed improvement. Maybe the benching was good. Maybe Dave Canales, lit a fire under his ass or something, and he showed him hey, man, you could be an all-time bencher. You could be a number 1 overall pick on the bench all the time, unless you want to show up. And he played well. Could have beaten the Eagles that one game.
Yep.
I think now for them, I think it's just the talent acquisition part. Getting pieces around Bryce Young to be able to truly see how good he could be. Because you're only, you could be great, but, you need, competent, not even great guys, but competent pieces around you to be able to get the job done in the NFL. Competency, right? And are they building that? I think they are. They drafted Tedero McMillan high with the 8th overall pick. I think that was a great move. They went sexy with it.
Mm-hmm.
They got a wide receiver, big body. Being able to give Bryce Young any level of help is beautiful. They signed O-line. They drafted defense as well. So overall, I want to see an improvement from the Panthers this season. The division warrants potential improvement because the competition isn't as great, and you potentially have 2 free wins against the Saints. So take those 2 free wins and then add maybe 5, 6 more. You're at 7, 8 wins.
Sneaky
playoff team, right?
Yep.
Especially in that division.
Yep.
So yeah, I like what the Panthers are doing, and I think that if they just continue to improve, they could get some sneaky wins. What is their schedule like? That's going to be a big indicator for me of how many wins they could get, and whether or not Bryce Young plays up to expectations in accordance with the roster. That's what I think. I think they have a easy-ish schedule, easy-ish. They play the Jaguars week 1. They play the
Jaguars,
Cardinals, Falcons, Patriots, Dolphins.
Cowboys.
Wow, this looks type easy. Cowboys, Jets, Bills, Packers, Saints, Falcons,
Niners.
49ers, Rams, Saints, Bucks, Seahawks. Wow, not going to lie, they could...
Sneaky 10?
It could be a sneaky 10 if they play above expectations.
That would be a big jump for them.
That would be an
5 wins to 10
insane jump for them. Maybe I'll think 8.
I think 10 would be.
I think that's more fair.
I think 8's fair.
7 or 8, I think, is a good barometer. And if Bryce Young plays well in those wins, it shows you where your future could be if you just get more talent on the roster.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about the Panthers last season and going to season forward?
I liked this team last year. I thought they played really good football down the stretch. They were in almost every game. They almost beat the Chiefs in that crazy game. They were playing competitive football. You saw a big step from Bryce Young, I felt like, and what he could reach his full potential with. Thought Dave Canales did a great job down there and proved he's at least a competent coach, somewhat. But this is the year to prove it again, right? You have to show consistency, right? So that's a big indicator right now for this team. And you start the year very favorably with your schedule. You have pretty much some lighter teams that you play, so you can get off to a great start. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be really important as well. But I feel like overall, I think what I want to see from this team is consistency. You got better. Bryce Young showed flashes, and you're starting to build. So now you have to be consistent with your building, right? You need to show more wins, show more progression, show some really statement wins that you can make. And if you get into the playoffs, you get into the playoffs. But I think overall, you want to see progression from Bryce Young. You want to see progression from the team, because this has been a slow build down there in Carolina.
Very slow.
So you have to now start to see the fruits of that labor. Because if you don't see it now, then you have to start all over again, and that's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, you're going to have to trade some guys who may not develop into what you thought they were and what you thought they could be.
Right.
So player development also.
Third year?
Third year for Bryce Young.
So if they don't have a successful year, do they extend them? Or do they offer a fourth, fifth year? What do they do with
I think he'll get the fifth year option.
Yeah.
But after that, I think they'll start to look in other directions.
I think
if the play isn't
But what
up
if
to par,
he plays well, but the team still sucks?
then you give him the extension.
then you give him the extension.
You build around him.
Then you try to build around him.
That's what happened last year. He played better than his team. He made mid guys look good, and they were in every game on offense. Defensively, they were okay.
And sitting on the bench helped him a lot.
Yes.
I feel like it did.
Throwing a 5'9" guy into play quarterback, that's tough. Even it does. I don't matter about your skill. You're 5'9", right? It's hard. You're up against guys who are 6 feet tall, who are O linemen. You can't even see over your O line. You know what I mean? So it's obviously difficult. And then you're going from a slower paced game to a faster paced game in the NFL. These guys are fighting for their checks, fighting for their families. It's not just going to be all cupcakes and rainbows. Not everybody can be a CJ Stroud.
Yeah, and I feel like from a technical side, too, new coach, new system, he didn't learn it in time. A veteran came in, Andy Dalton, he knew the system, he knew what he was doing. He showed him the ropes. Shout out Andy Dalton, he's a big part of that. But no, I think it shows growth, right? That he's able to take the benching, taking with pride, learning from it, and getting better. That's a great sign for a young quarterback. You love to see that. You want more guys to be like that. Anthony Richardson, right? You want to see growth from your quarterback like that.
Pew 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 pew. What a shot!
But I feel like it's the truth. That's what you want to see from a young quarterback, Zach Wilson. It's a good sign for a good quarterback to have that early on. So you see he has fight. You see he's a very competitive guy, and you see it in his team. He reflects the team. So I think they will have a better year than they had last year. I firmly believe that they have a better team than they had last year. I think McMillan was a great draft pick, like you said. I think Canales is going to show a really good growth from a coach as well. I think they'll struggle in the tougher games, but they'll be in it. I think they're not there yet, but if they show consistency and they show progression, they'll get there.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be the big. Even if they, I think the benchmark is 8 wins. If they get that, great. If they get more than that, it's been one of the best years they've had for a while.
Yeah.
If they get below 8th, then you have to start asking questions again.
Yeah, if you get 5 wins, 6 wins, it's
yeah.
Maybe there are some games in there where all right, the team's just better, but you were good too. Maybe there's circumstances as to why you have the wins that you have and how you played.
Right.
So we'll be able to judge that during the season. But overall, Panthers, you're in a decent spot. Decent spot right now. You're not the best team in the division, but you're in a decent spot to potentially grow into that.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Panthers. The Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, God. What do we do with them?
Last year, Kirk Cousins was on fire. They were 6-3. They were cooking.
Top 10 quarterback.
Top 10 quarterback in the league potentially. He was flame throwing out there, and he was looking up to par with what his contract was, right? Because he signed that amazing contract. Shout out to his agent. I mean, geez. And then all of a sudden, they just started falling down a cliff where he went like a stretch of 4 games with no touchdowns and 10 interceptions, and the team was just losing consistently. And I felt like it was an overpay for Kirk Cousins at that point. And then this kind of verified it all, right? To where if he played just mid throughout the rest of that 6-3, 9-game start, you could have been like, okay, the contract's good. We're a playoff team. We're there somewhat with Kirk Cousins. He could be playing better, but he got us to a playoff game. He got us to this point, right? They drafted Michael Penix the year before. So they're like, all right.
Which you notably did not like.
I did not like that because it's like, why? But now I see why, because Kirk Cousins was a ticking time bomb in hindsight. And Michael Penix, he looked okay. I guess he's a rookie. So I guess you'll see what you can have in Michael Penix. Kirk Cousins is still on the team. I don't know what they're going to do with that contract. I think it's super unmovable because no team wants to take that on for being absolute mid. So, it's going to be tough. They do have pieces. Their offense is really, 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 really damn good. They have Drake London. You have Darnell Mooney. You have Bijan Robinson. You have Kyle Pitts. And the defense is getting better. They signed pass rush. They have decent linebackers. They have good corners. They could easily be the second best team. I don't think that they're the best team. Or they could be one of the worst teams because it all depends on how Michael Penix plays. Because are you going to play Kirk Cousins again? Probably not. So I guess we'll see how Michael Penix plays in a first, full year of what could be his start to the Falcons' tenure. So I guess we'll see. We'll see. But overall, I think that they're the second best team in this division. They have the potential to be the worst or one of the worst teams in this division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anything else you got to add on the Falcons right there?
No, I agree. I think it's a okay team without Kirk Cousins. How they're going to be without him, I don't know because you don't know with Michael Penix. But I think you're kind of banking on Michael Penix being a somewhat decent quarterback. I think that's why Kirk Cousins is still on the roster because Penix could also be a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. So, I mean, look, I think they didn't trade Kirk Cousins because nobody wants that contract. There were some hypothetical trades going around, but some of them are ridiculous. People had him go back to Minnesota.
Stop.
So, I mean, look, I think the Falcons are interesting because they're not bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're not bad enough to say they're the worst team in the division. They're not the worst team in football. But they're not good. It's they're in between that space where they're gonna be good, but they're not gonna be great. And if you're good, you're not gonna beat the best teams in the NFC. It's gonna be a battle for second between them and the Panthers. I think the Panthers have a better team. If the Panthers are more consistent, they have the better team. So that's probably my take on it. Could they sneak in if they're better than the Panthers? Probably. You saw it last year. They were a game away and they fumbled it. Look, I don't know what this team's weird. It's a weird team to look at. You just don't know how good everybody is. You're still waiting for Kyle Pitts to figure out what he's going to be. You're still trying to see what that offense is, if it really is elite with Michael Penix. And that defense is okay. It's not great, nothing spectacular. And you already had controversy with what's his name?
James Pierce?
No. The when they called the Shedeur Sanders, the son.
Oh, the Jeff Ulbrich.
Jeff Ulbricht's son. Right, so you're already on the wrong side of the season right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think this team has a lot of bad juju on it right now. I don't think it's a great feeling over there from the outside looking in. And I truly believe that they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. I think when push comes to shove, their schedule is not that bad when you look at it, but I think they're just going to find a way to screw it up.
I mean, let's run through it a little bit, right? Let's see. So they got the Bucs. I think that's a divisional game. Vikings, Panthers, Commanders, Bills, 49ers. That's a decently tough stretch, I guess. They play the Dolphins, play the Patriots, play the Colts, play Panthers, play Saints. That's a pretty decently easy stretch. Then you play the Jets, Seahawks, Bucks, Cardinals, Rams, Saints.
That's what I mean. Like, there are wins here. They're better than a lot of those teams, but they could also easily be worse than them, and they could also be losing those games. You know what I mean? So I truthfully, I won't know till the season starts, but from a prediction standpoint, I don't think they're going to go very far.
Would you say that they're the definition of mid?
Very mid. Very mid.
I mean, it's just like...
They might be worse than mid, honestly.
Maybe a tick below mid?
I think a tick below mid.
All right, fair enough. I mean, and which is funny because they're the second best team. And they're not even mid.
Yeah.
So that's just going to show you how awful this NFC South is. So, yeah, I have nothing else to add on the Falcons. I think that if their offense is humming and that defense could play up, I think they have a decent chance at being a wild card team. But overall, it's Tampa Bay's division. We're just living in it.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is the best team in that division, bar none. Baker Mayfield had a really good year last year, even with all the injuries surrounding that offense. He played really well. He showed why he got paid. He's my guy. And him and Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Emeka Mbuka they drafted.
They went a leader.
And you have still, what do you call it, Bucky Irving. You have Rashad White. You have a decently good offensive line. The defense can use some work maybe on the edge, maybe in the secondary as well. The defense was kind of... Yeah, the defense kind of scares me a bit because Tampa Bay's defense hasn't always been that great.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll continue to see how that defense is going to look during the year. But if their defense is playing good football, they're going to win a lot of games. And that offense is going to be the primary reason why they win a lot of games because that offense is humming and it's really good and it's fast-paced and they pass the ball a lot. They have electric playmakers on the outside and the slot at the running back position. They're just a good offensive team. And
they're a great offensive team.
Great offensive team. And in this division, might be all you need. So check out their schedule. I want to see how this schedule is going to look out for them because if the schedule isn't, the easiest or the favorable one, maybe they can lose more games. But they won 10 games last year. They were a decent team. So
Falcons, Texans, Jets, Eagles.
Wow, okay. I mean, that's meh.
Seahawks, Niners, Lions, Saints. Patriots, Bills, Rams, Cardinals. Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers.
There's 9 to 11 wins in there. Maybe. I think so. I think
there's 9.
Now, I think the Bills game.
That's a tough schedule.
Bills, they could win, but that's a tough game. Bills, their defense.
That's in
sometimes.
Buffalo.
I don't think that matters. Potentially.
It kind of matters.
In what, November?
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield plays in the cold. He'll be fine.
The rest of the team doesn't.
They're fine. They'll be fine. The Lions game, they beat the Lions last year. Sneaky win.
Yep.
They play the Eagles tough.
That's early on, too.
Early on, maybe Eagles are struggling maybe a little bit with their new offensive system.
Mm-hmm.
Play the Rams. That could be an offensive juggernaut shootout game. Play the Cardinals. I think they're better than the Cardinals. Play the Dolphins. They're better. I think 10 wins is like
benchmark.
Peak, maybe. For me, peak. If they win, I guess if they play below expectations in some of these games, maybe they could be like 9.
That's my thing. Like I don't feel like this is gonna be like a team that like finishes below 500. Like they'll have 8 wins, they'll have 9 wins. Pushing 12 or 11, I don't think so.
I'm not too sure. Yeah, maybe 11, maybe, but 12.
That'd be a really good year if they get to 11 with this schedule. They might be one of the best teams in the NFC.
Hey, Tampa Bay's listen. Baker Mayfield's my guy.
I know he's your guy.
He's my guy.
I know.
I believe in him. And whatever he does just turns the goal. He brought the Browns to the playoffs. I need everybody to remember that that year. He brought the damn Browns to the fucking playoffs and then won a playoff game against the Steelers. Let's go.
Should have been a Giant.
Should have been a Giant. Oh, I wish he was a Giant. We would have had so much more success.
No, I mean, I agree with you. The offense is a leader. I think the health of wide receiver is going to be also a big question.
Which I feel like is why they drafted wide receiver early on.
They'll still got Sterling Shepard in there, so it's a good depth piece to have.
Mm-hmm.
I think Baker Mayfield could work with anybody, but I think health at the end of the season was very bad for them last year.
Mm-hmm.
They lost Rashid White. They lost Bucky Irving. They lost Chris Godwin, obviously. Mike Evans was kind of struggling with something for a little bit.
Injuries was
a big issue for this team last year. So if they could stay healthy, I think the defense is okay. Todd Bowles is a good defensive coach. I think they'll be good in this division. I think they should easily win this division.
Easily. Well.
Maybe they get out of if they get a favorable matchup in the playoffs, they can get out of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And offense can beat anybody. That's for damn sure. If this offense is healthy and humming, and Baker Mayfield's healthy, this offense can beat anybody.
Yep.
So it's an interesting team to watch and see how they play out the year. But I don't see them ever falling below like if they get 7 wins, that's a disaster of a season in my opinion.
100%. Because you pay Baker Mayfield all this money, you've drafted around him, you're building around him. 7 wins is not acceptable, especially in this piss poor division. Are you kidding me?
If they lose the division, it's a disaster.
It's a terrible year.
Yeah,
it's an awful year.
100%.
This is the year where this is the easiest division to win.
Yeah,
and you should win it. So,
just anything to add?
Anything to add about my boy Baker, my beautiful big strong boy?
I want you to stop talking about him like that.
No, I will never. He's my Pookie Bear, Baker. He's my Pookie Bear.
No, I think he'll have a decent year. I'm not too high up on him the way you are, but I think
multiple playoff appearances.
You're right. So he's
Wins
definitely a
in the
playoff
playoffs.
guy. So we'll see him in the playoffs.
Lost in the first round last year, though.
Listen,
that was the Commanders' year.
Yeah.
Right. Tough game, tough break. You know what happens to all of us. You eat your crow, then you move on to the next one. He ate his crow. He'll be all right. So shout out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There you go. There's nothing else to talk about really, unless we're talking about hypothetical trades.
Rashad Bateman got a 3-year extension. Good for him.
Oh yeah. I think that's a bit too much.
Prediction for the division.
Prediction for the division.
Yeah.
All right, the NFC South. I have
pretty chalk, I think.
Yeah, I have Tampa.
Oh, you're going top to bottom. Okay.
I have Tampa, Atlanta, Panthers, Saints. Atlanta and Panthers, between them, there's like a game or two separating them. Not that big of a
I agree.
margin.
I think Tampa. I'm going to say Carolina second. I think they do make the playoffs this year. I think they get to 9 wins.
You and every Carolina Panther fan
I'm
be
very
so
high
happy. Yo, shout out to the Panthers, man.
Shout
God
out Quadri.
bless
That's
them.
my guy. Shout out
Yeah.
Quadri. I'm high on them. I like their team. I think they will. I like the way Bryce Young played last year. They were in a tough. They played tough games down the stretch. They lost a couple of close games. I think they'll be better. The defense got better. I think Dave Canales will figure it out. And look, I want to believe in them. I like Carolina. I think they've done it the right way. They've built the team up the right way.
Mm-hmm.
They've taken their licks. And I like when teams are starting to build up again. They're starting to get better again. They're doing it properly, like the Broncos, like the Panthers. So I want to see growth from them. I really want them to do well this year. So hopefully they do. I have them at 9 wins. I think they'll make a playoffs as like the final wild card, losing the first round, but I think they will get there. I had Atlanta third, Saints fourth.
Yeah, very chalk.
I think you can flip Atlanta and Panthers either way,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just giving the edge to Carolina because I vicariously want them to do well.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, pretty chalk. These mid divisions are just
who
real
do you agree
chalk.
with, me or Lewis?
About
The division. You have Tampa Bay first, obviously.
Huh?
You have Tampa Bay first, obviously.
Obviously.
Tampa Bay.
They
all suck. Because I would put the Saints last.
Right.
Okay, Tampa Bay Falcons.
Okay.
Who's the third team?
Carolina.
Oh, okay. Tampa Bay. Okay, no. Tampa Bay Falcons, Carolina Saints.
Okay.
Tampa Bay
That's
Falcons, Carolina Saints.
That's
Okay, that's pretty fair.
I wanted to put Carolina number 2, but I felt like there's still a lot of dysfunction. I feel like a little bit. I don't know.
A lot of dysfunction.
I don't trust them.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Bryce Young really, if we want to make a caveat, he really hasn't proved much other than like 6 good games.
There were 6 really good games.
And then there you go. So you're banking on that potential
what
of.
did you guys say again? Who did you have?
I had Carolina second, and then third, fourth was the same. He had Atlanta second, and then Carolina third.
Oh, okay, so we had the same list.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
They're pretty much the same. I don't think the gap between second and third is going to be too big anyway.
I said Carolina's going to be a playoff team. That's what I said. My crazy thing is I said Carolina was going to be a playoff team. That was my crazy thing.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah.
we'll see.
Rashad Bateman got a 3-year deal, $36 million extension, good money. 12
For being
second best
barely a
receiver.
good receiver on that team. Okay, why not? Okay, we're
Sure.
just paying anybody now.
And then ESPN made hypothetical trades that I think look stupid and don't make any sense. So let's look at them.
I'll go through some of them. Kirk Cousins gets traded to the Browns. Falcons get Kenny Pickett, a 6th-round pick, and cash for Kirk Cousins and a 7th-round pick. Why? It's too much money. I mean, maybe, sure, but
If Shador, okay, this
strange.
is okay. First of all, Penix has to be really good to trade Kirk Cousins, and B, you need a team that can take on that contract, and C, that means Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco are not good enough than Joe Flacco, and you're trying to win. Because why make the trade at all? If Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel are not the truth, then why make the trade? You're just blocking them for no reason.
yeah. He goes back to Minnesota. Falcons get 5th-round pick, 7th-round pick in 2027, and the Vikings get Cousins. That's stupid. Why?
Isn't that crazy? JJ McCarthy has to suck. He has to. It's the only way it makes sense.
Yeah. Or unless he gets injured. But
Could you
I don't
imagine
think
if he goes back to Minnesota?
They have Sam Howell already, guys. Calm down. They don't need Kirk. They don't need all that money when Sam Howell could give them not maybe similar production, but maybe in Kevin O'Connell's system he could be good. So we shall see. Steelers, they get Kirk. They're not getting Kirk anymore.
I will say this was written before the Rodgers trade, so you can block out the Steelers.
Yeah, and then the Minnesota trades Sam Howell for Kirk Cousins.
That's Seth Walder's offer.
Seth, you're dumb. Yeah. Sure, I guess.
Sure.
Let's go to something more interesting. The Trey Hendrickson potential saga. 4 trades. Indianapolis Colts is the first buyer. They trade a 2nd-round pick in 2026 and then a 2027 5th-round pick for Trey Hendrickson.
I don't hate that from Indy.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate
They
it.
get better with their pass rush. Sure.
Make their defense better.
Yeah.
Your offense is going to be run by Daniel Jones.
Don't mind it. Buffalo Bills have an offer.
I would love this.
Bengals get a 2nd-round pick in 2026, and Bills get Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Probably offer him an extension as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes total sense from the Bills.
Yeah.
Have Ed Oliver already adds to that defensive line. God knows they needed a pass rush last year. This only adds to it, and Hendrickson's really good. So,
Detroit Lions making a trade offer. The Bengals are going to get a 2026 2nd-round pick, 2027 4th-round pick, can become a 3rd-round pick with performance conditions, and the Lions get Hendrickson and a 5th-round pick in 2026. Sure. I think this is all just good teams, besides the Colts, maybe.
Yeah.
But that potentially want to just bolster up their thing. Then we have the Commanders. They trade Jazon Newton, a 2026 3rd-round pick, a 2027 7th-round pick. My chair is precipitously going down. And then the Commanders get Trey Hendrickson. Yeah, sure. I mean, you get a player back, and you get 2 picks. I think that's nice. I like that. If they would do it, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe he doesn't want to go to the Commanders. Maybe he wants to go to the Bills
it makes
or the
sense
Lions.
for like the Bengals because they would get some form of a player back.
Yeah.
So that's why I think they would make the trade. But losing Trey Hendrickson for Jazad Newton would just be wow.
But you do get a 3rd, and you do get a...
You do get a 3rd and a 7. And I mean, for the Commanders, you get an upgrade on your defensive line. You already have Javon Kinlaw and Devon Payne. And Sweat's another trade. Sweat. Who's the other guy? Not Montez Sweat. What am I blanking on his name right now?
I don't know.
Yeah, they have another guy on the defensive line who I'm forgetting. But it's a good defensive line. He'll add to it. and a good match. I think these are all really realistic trades that could happen. I think in terms of who I think it would benefit the most, probably the Bills.
I think the Bills will benefit a lot.
I think the Bills from
Von Miller's not. He's gonna play only this year, and then he's gonna be gone. So they're trying to get a replacement sooner rather than later, and potentially have a guy locked up for many years to come. So I think this only helps out the Bills very much so if they could sign him to a long-term extension because Trey Anderson is really good.
Yeah.
And you play in Cincinnati, playing in Buffalo, it's cold in both, so you'll be all right. They're saying that the Detroit Lions trade is good. Offer could get the job done. I think the Bills offer too. Maybe if they add another pick, the Bills offer will be more enticing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see.
And I guess the Bills are a division rival. So it's more likely they would trade to the Lions, I mean.
Are they though?
They play
They're in the AFC.
They're in the AFC. They can meet in the playoffs. You don't want to see them in the playoffs until the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I guess.
So it would make sense that way.
All right, fair. Fine, fair enough. And then we have Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey's still a good corner. It sucks that obviously he wants out of Miami. He wants to try to win chip again. The Los Angeles Rams, he's going back to the X. The Dolphins get a 5th-round pick in 2026, a 6th-round pick in cash. Ramsey get Ramsey. Sure. Again with the Rams, they get a 7th-round pick for Jalen Ramsey. I feel like that's a little low.
That's a bit low.
It's a bit low. Carolina gets Jalen Ramsey for a 4th-round pick. That might be a little bit high. And the Chargers get Ramsey for a 7th-round pick.
Giving up a 6th.
And they give up a 6th.
I think all these offers are a little bit...
No, the Chargers get a 6th. What?
The Chargers get a 6th.
Oh, my God. That would be a steal.
It's 2027, too.
2027, that's what? I mean...
Yeah, some of these, like, ESPN just wrote trades to write trades. I mean, like, I don't even... Like, the trade offer is one thing. The team is what interests me the most.
If somebody's offering you a 4th-round pick for Jalen Ramsey, first off, you take it.
Yeah, but if you're Carolina, I don't think it's a terrible move. You need corner help. He's a veteran on a young team. Team is building. I wouldn't mind it. I think you get all the help you can get. And if you overpay, you overpay. But, I think you're at the point where you have your cornerstone players in place that draft picks don't really matter too much anymore. So you could afford to give 4th-round, 3rd-round picks for veteran quality players. I think Jalen Ramsey could be that option for Carolina. I think, look, the Rams, it's defense. Sean McVay don't care about picks.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it, Sean. Run it back. Hey, you won a championship with Jalen Ramsey.
It works.
It works.
So
maybe you could do it again. So we'll see.
And the Chargers, I mean, they could use him. Fine. If they get him for a 7th, sure. It's
2 years later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Why not?
Jim Harbaugh loves a cornerback.
Jalen Ramsey's going to be one of his guys.
Yeah.
My guy.
My guys.
My guy.
But I think in terms of like the most value he could get, I would say Carolina. But I think where it would make the most sense is probably LA, the Rams.
Yes, I agree. Well, that's all football.
Yeah.
That's it for football. Wow. What great topics.
Thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for giving us a good 20 minutes to talk about.
Thank you, Aaron.
It wasn't really 20 minutes.
Barely. Yeah. Thank you, Aaron, though, for giving us
it's okay, because mini camps start next week.
Yeah, we're going to get real football soon.
Oh, God.
How many contract disputes are we going to hear from mini camp?
Trey Hendrickson.
We might hear a couple.
Trey
couple
Hendrickson
big
for
names.
Sure. Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? So let's talk about the NBA. The finals they're on happened yesterday night. I was watching the game.
I fell asleep.
That's fine. I got you. I got you with the analysis and breakdown right here.
I watched the first 3 quarters. I was like, you know what? OKC got it, right? Playing well. Indiana turned the ball over. If Indiana comes back.
It was wild.
I know.
Like, I had to do a double take when they were like, Indiana takes the lead. I was like, no, what?
Oh, I know. Because I watched it this morning. Like, why? How?
And you want to know how? Indiana hit a lot of shots in that fourth quarter. And OKC didn't. If they went match for match, OKC would have won. But OKC just wasn't hitting their shots in the fourth. And for the beat the Pacers team, you have to play all 48 minutes. And OKC did not play all 48 minutes. They weren't creating shots all 48 minutes. They were playing good defense, but Pacers were just hitting their shots. When they get in that zone, they're hard to stop. So I guess this is a wake-up call for OKC. It's only game one.
It is only game one, but I think, the Pacers, they really wanted to make a statement. They really wanted to be like, okay, we get OKC is the favorite for a lot of people, but do not forget how we got here.
Mm-hmm. And yeah,
we'll see if OKC adjusts. We'll see.
I think they played.
They could have put some fear in them.
I'm not gonna lie. If OKC just connected on a little bit more, because they forced how many turnovers did they force?
29.
29 fucking turnovers.
I'm sorry. 24.
24. They forced 24 turnovers. You should win the game by double digits every time. But they didn't capitalize on those 24 turnovers. Not all of them. They maybe had what?
Wait,
How
so
many
when's the
points
next game? Tomorrow?
It's Sunday.
Oh no, that's 2 days off. Yeah, you're right.
Sunday. And as if I'm OKC's coach, I'm looking at it and we just didn't finish. Pause. But it may
oh God, I hate
but they get
Hey, it's NBA's fault. NBA has that terminology, right?
Yeah.
It's the NBA's fault.
and they just couldn't finish out the game. And they couldn't what do you call it? Make an opportunity out of Indiana's misfortunes, right? Because they were playing real damn good defense, and they were only up by 12 at half. It's respectfully, they should have been up by 30.
Well,
I'm going to keep it real.
This is what
because
happened.
Indiana was not playing good.
Right.
And in the first half, when we're talking about this, and we're going to talk about how Indiana won the game, that's fine, but they were awful. In the fourth quarter, they were great. But they were not good throughout this entire game. Sure, they had runs of it's an 8-0 run. But then they started giving up threes, and then they started giving up layups, and then turning the ball over. OKC's a better team, but they lost. It is what it is.
I know why he's mad. He's mad because
I did pick him in 4.
He's picked him
but
in
that's
4.
not why I'm mad. I'm not even mad either. It's just because you
so-
saw how they
so
played
mad.
the entire game, and it's you still couldn't get it done.
Right.
You played so well the entire game, you still couldn't get it done.
Well, okay, I'll say this about Indiana, right? I hate that I'm playing the devil advocate right now, but I will say
you're
this. No, I am.
You're not.
We know you're loving it, so hush.
It's
Keep
fine.
going.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Because honestly, yeah, Indiana was hot. They were hot in that fourth quarter, and that is the fault of OKC.
But this is what Indiana does, right? OKC cannot miss shots because Indiana will always score. No matter what point in the game, no matter where it's at, they are guaranteed to get almost 120 points almost
So they
every
have to play
single
a perfect
game.
against the Pacers?
Not perfect. They just have to be a little bit better.
on offense, yeah.
You have to get a lead against Indiana. You have to.
And you have to maintain it. When they are scoring, when Indiana starts getting on a little bit of a run, you have to match.
Yes.
You cannot let Indiana just go on these runs where they're just scoring and you're not.
You have to you have to capitalize off their turnovers that they give you,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to deny their turnovers all the time, right? All the time, because Indiana in a close game will win it. They will win it. They will hit all their shots in the fourth and in the second half. They're a second half team, right? You have to at least trade buckets with them. At least, if you could trade buckets with Indiana with a lead, you're gonna win the game. That's it. And this OKC team should be able to do that because Indiana's defense is not that good. It's not. So it should be a very easily win for OKC, but once you start missing shots, and once you start not capitalizing on turnovers, and once you start turning the ball over yourself, Indiana is going. And OKC does not have a good rebounding team. They don't. Chet Holmgren's not a good center. Isaiah Hartenstein's not a good. He's a good rebounder, not great, right? So the Pacers will get the rebounds all the time. You have to trade buckets with Indiana in the fourth quarter and have a lead. Otherwise, they're going to pull away and they're going to have a chance to win the game. That's what they do. They're very, very good in the fourth quarter at scoring buckets and operating their offense. OKC's defense was a big problem in the second half, especially in the fourth when I watched it over. Too many wide open shots, too many easy looks to the rim, not enough guarding up, not enough of their usual pressure defense that they have. They were not in passing lanes. It was a defensive meltdown in the fourth quarter from OKC, and you cannot do that against Indiana team unless you have a lead or you're scoring with them. You could play bad defense against Indiana because Indiana also plays bad defense, so you could score in Indiana, but you have to score. That's the key here. You can have a terrible defensive scheme and still win the game against Indiana. But the minute you start missing shots, Indiana will make you pay for it and will punish you for it. That's exactly what happened here.
Yeah. And, when SGA had a chance to put them up by 3, didn't.
Yep.
Missed that shot, and it was a good look. It's a wide open mid-range shot. Like, he had separation. Maybe there was a guy, trying to contest, but that's a shot he typically makes, and he missed it.
And SGA had a really good game. He had 38 points.
SGA was very aggressive in this game, which I liked, and I think he has to be that aggressive because when they're trying, first off, nobody could guard him on the Pacers. Nobody can. You could put him in pick and roll. You could put somebody on him. He's going to either get by them or he's going to hit a shot over them.
But you know what too? And I genuinely hate that I'm gonna say this.
Say it.
Genuinely
Say
hate
it.
that I'm gonna say this right now.
Say it.
Great players know how to make clutch shots, and Tyrese Halliburton can make a clutch shot with his eyes closed. Shea has not proven that yet, and you saw that in the when it mattered the most. Doesn't matter how many points he scored. Doesn't matter how he played. When the shot came to him, he didn't hit it.
He didn't.
That's a big marker on him right now.
Yeah.
So he has to come back in game 2 and at least prove that he can dominate this team or he can hit a clutch shot when it matters, like Halliburton can. Because Halliburton has proven he can go off, he can make clutch shots, and when it matters the most, you put the ball in his hands, he's probably going to make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they didn't call timeout. He comes out the court, gets separation on Casey Wallace, and just pulls up and hits the shot. I mean, it was a great shot. Pretty open, too. That wasn't the best contest from Wallace. Mm-hmm. And they won the game. And, I mean, I'm genuinely shocked that they won the game because I'm looking at the defense that OKC's playing, and I'm like, how are you not up by 30? How? You should – a 12-point lead? That is unacceptable. And that's how good OKC is. That's the only reason why I'm acting like this is because they're damn good. You cannot. And I mean cannot. How you force 10 turnovers in the first quarter and we're only up by 9? Only 9? That's it? You got to be up by 20. There's no way you can't be that dominant on defense and then when it comes time to capitalize on their mistakes, we'll turn over the ball after we get a turnover. We'll just miss it. We'll just break it. It will be a turnover on us again. You can't play that level of defense and then not capitalize at least 50% on those turnovers that you make them commit.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, that's probably what they're going to be working on is when we get the turnover, what are we running? Are we going to execute? If we have numbers, this is what we are going to do. If they have their 5 and we're going to run a half-court set, this is what we're going to run off of turnovers. Get them scrambling. And just capitalizing. Just hitting your shots when it matters most.
Yep.
Because OKC genuinely played the better game. But Indiana won.
And that's how Indiana does it.
That's how it happens, man. Even in the Knicks series, game 1, Knicks were torching their ass. And Indiana, fourth quarter, they got touched by God. I don't know what you want me to say. But we'll see game 2. We'll see.
I mean, look. I'm looking at it right now. First quarter, 29-20, OKC won that quarter. Second quarter, 28-25, OKC won that quarter. Third quarter, 31-28, Indiana won that quarter, but it was close, right? 15-point lead. Fourth quarter, 35-25, Indiana won that quarter by 10 points.
Not good enough.
You cannot score 25 points, Indiana's 35. You have to at least be at 30.
Mm-hmm.
Your offensive execution has to at least be there for them to get to where they need to be. And it just was not good enough. I'm trying to figure out points off turnovers, but here we go. Points conceded off turnovers. So Indiana had 25 turnovers in this game. Indiana only gave up 11 points off turnovers out of a possible.
That is unfucking acceptable.
Yeah.
By OKC.
Yeah.
If you have turnovers, my marker, if you give up if you force 25 turnovers, you should have 25 points. You should have either the same or right around that range of how many you gave up. That's half. Because either you're hitting a 2, so the 25 turnovers, that's 50 points, or maybe you sprinkle in a 3 here and there, maybe that's 60. But at least half. At least get the same amount of points as turnovers.
Yeah. And the two sets I'm looking at right now too. 3-point percentage throughout the game. OKC 30-37. Indiana 46% from
Yeah,
three.
OKC not good enough.
18 from 39, sorry.
And I will say that's a decent percentage for the whole team. Not against Indiana. Not good enough.
Yeah. Your offensive output has to at least be, like, it doesn't have to be better. It just has to be a little bit better than.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be spectacular. Shea doesn't have to drop 40.
Yeah, because if you look at the field goal percentage, they shot under 40%.
Yeah.
They have the same amount of field goals, but look at how many more shots they took.
39 of 98.
They took 16 more shots than Indiana.
And I will say a stat that doesn't surprise me, but has to be cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana 56 rebounds, OKC 39. That rebound number, I know rebounding is not a big deal anymore, but on the finer margins in NBA Finals, those rebounds matter.
When it's a 1-point game, this matters.
Yeah. So those rebound numbers have to at least even themselves out for OKC. Because if Indiana dominates on the glass and they're getting defensive stops and they're getting offensive rebounds, it's not going to work.
It's going to be hard. That's what their offense feeds off of. They get the ball, they're running, they're pushing, they're shooting threes, and they're constantly on you.
Yeah.
Constantly. It's not going to stop.
Yeah.
So you have to match it. And, like, if you force 25 turnovers, if I'm Mark Dagnall, I'm literally, like, kicking rocks at this team. It's like, how do you not convert off these? How?
Yeah.
They should have won this game by 50.
Indiana did everything right. OKC, when it mattered, and same thing happened in the next series. When it mattered, they did everything wrong. Right? Indiana are Rick Carlisle. Like this is not like a team that just got here. Rick Carlisle is a great coach. He made adjustments and he made it work. They beat the best team in the East in the Cavaliers. They beat a very, very good Knicks team. They had problems, sure, but they beat that team very well. Right? Arguably dominated them. Right? This Indiana team is no joke. They are a really, really solid team. Mm-hmm. But you just figure with the matchup that they'll be better.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, and when it mattered the most, OKC did not show up in the fourth quarter. And that can't happen with this Pacer team. It just can't.
Now, granted, and you know what's funny? You can't even chalk it up to, like, they had an off night if you're OKC.
Yeah, no.
You had a fucking fantastic night.
110.
You forced 25 fucking turnovers? That's a fucking great defensive night.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? They should have had 130 points.
Yeah.
Or at least close to it.
Yeah.
That's what it should have been. It should have been at least close to a 20-point win. That's how much those points off those turnovers matter. Mm-hmm. That's a 20-point swing.
And in the NBA Finals, it's really, like, at this point, it's the fine things that matter. It's the very fine, and I said this in the next year. I said this in the reaction. I said this in the analysis. Indiana does the fine details better than anybody I've seen. They do the little things that matter in these games that let them win. OKC needs to come out the next and on Sunday and do that. They have to literally, not perfect basketball, but good fundamental basketball. Mm-hmm. That's the only way it works. Because Indiana will match that. Yeah. And if you're matching Indiana, that means you could score on them. That means you should be better than them.
Yeah.
So, but hey, it's game one.
It's game one.
It's game one.
No series is won or lost in game one unless you're the Knicks. So
thanks.
Yeah, it was right there. I had to. It was right there.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah. Of course it was. But I think for me at least, and it's just my philosophy. There's no, like, background to it. There's no, like, stats behind it. I feel like game one's the most important. I feel like game one's always a must win. So Indiana winning game one is super now because it puts all the pressure on OKC to win game two. Mm-hmm. So Indiana did their job. They stole a game. Yeah,
literally that is their job. Just take one over there. You don't even gotta win two. Just take one.
Yeah,
that's it. And they did their job. Respectfully, if they lose game two, you go back to your house tied? Perfect. That's what you want. So,
yeah.
We'll see it on Sunday.
We'll see it on Sunday.
Well, speaking of the Knicks, they fired their head coach.
Yeah, they did.
And they're searching. It's ongoing.
Very
obviously.
Reactionary move.
You think so?
Yes, it was.
Explain, Jess. The floor is yours. Explain why it was reactionary by the Knicks to fire
I think
Tibbs.
if they would have waited It was too soon to say it wasn't reactionary. I'm sorry. You didn't. It doesn't seem like you took time. It didn't seem like you fire him and then a few days later you announce a new coach. Like you already had plans for him to go. This was like, no, we've had it. We're going in different directions. You can't get us over the hump. Cutting our losses short now.
Mm-hmm.
It was very reactionary. Very.
All right. That's fair.
This guy helped the Knicks come back to life. And I'm sure, I mean, is it going to be terrible for them that they fired? Maybe not. But I feel like, where would you have been without this coach?
The dumpster.
Like, where would you have been without
the
this
garbage
coach?
pail.
You're right. You're arguably
The sewer
right.
system.
And yeah.
So it's like,
No, we're already in the sewer.
this was very like, we're pissed off we lost. You could have won it. That's it. We're done.
I will say this. I don't think you're wrong. As I just over text you, I don't think you're wrong. And I'm going to agree with you unless they bring in a guy who I genuinely feel is a better coach than Tom Thibodeau.
Mike Malone.
And there's not many guys out there. There aren't. There's maybe one or two, and maybe it's only one. Maybe it's just Mike Malone. I genuinely feel Mike Malone is a better coach than Tom Thibodeau. And I would say if they don't get anybody but Mike Malone, it's a bad move. But if they get Mike Malone, I will argue for it, and I think it was a good move.
Well, then this is where we see if the Knicks are still self-sabotaging. Because when you made this decision, did you already have it in the back of your mind that that's who you're going for? Or did you just and now you're going to try and go get Mike Malone? Now, or it's like,
If Mike
I don't
Malone,
think they have a plan.
if Mike Malone wasn't out there, and they still fired Tom Thibodeau, I'd be questioning it. I genuinely would. I've been a big Tom Thibodeau defender. I've been a believer in him. I stood by him whenever there was a case for that. I feel like Mike Malone is a better coach, and I feel like the reason why you fire Tom Thibodeau is to go get Mike Malone. Because if it's Jason Kidd, why?
Well, they need to then they should hire him right away. What are you waiting for?
You're right.
What are you waiting for?
You're right. And
If you're serious about not breaking the momentum that the Knicks did in these last few years, you need a head coach ASAP.
yes, I agree with you. I
Start immediately in the offseason to get back to where you were just now. But the Knicks has too much history of not doing the right thing. They're like the Jets. They steal it from themselves. They hurt themselves.
I hear you. I hear you. I get what you're saying, and I do.
But I'm with you. I think they should.
I
that's what they do.
I don't disagree with you. And again, if it's anybody, like if it's Jason Kidd, I will fume. If it's Johnny Bryant, I will fume. Right? If it's Jay Wright, I'd be very upset if it's Jay Wright, because then now you're going to relationships, which it shouldn't go down to. It should be all about winning, bring the best talent here possible.
Yep.
And that is Mike Malone, who's the best coach out there, no question. Jason Kidd hasn't done it. Jay Wright hasn't done it. Johnny Bryant would be a rookie. You need a guy who could step in when this team right now is going in the direction that you're trying to win a championship, and he can help you win right now. Mike Malone pushes you to championship contender right now. Johnny Bryant doesn't do that. Jason Kidd doesn't do that. Jay Wright doesn't do that. Jeff Van Gundy doesn't do that. God forbid if Jeff Van Gundy comes walking through that door, I swear to God, I will break this table. I will be on it. I really would. But I'm putting all my eggs in Mike Malone's basket because I genuinely feel like he is the perfect coach for this team right now and takes them in the proper direction that they need to go in. Genuinely. And again, if it wasn't Mike Malone, it's a dumb move. It's the dumbest move they're ever going to make because Tom Thibodeau deserves all the credit. He took us out of the dumpster, took us out of the sewer, he took us out of poverty, and guided this team to where they need to get to. Arguably, he exceeded expectations with this team, and because of him, it's because of him that we're in the position that we're in, that we could do this now. So that's how I feel about it.
Woo!
Congrats.
That was a bad move shutting that door.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why am I dying in here?
I heard the music, and I didn't know if it was catching. I don't know if the audio was catching.
Who's playing music?
It was music.
Oh, they're having something outside.
Yeah.
Well, we can wrap this up soon so we don't die in here.
We got it. Don't worry. We got this. And we're back.
Could just be a car.
Yeah, it's probably just a car. So that was a very spirited rant by you there, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I do appreciate that. Has there been any like like posts about how they're bringing people into the room yet, or is there like there's obviously rumored guys, but is there anybody who's like favored? I guess.
Well, the early
that people
favorite
are
is
thinking?
Mike Malone, but they haven't talked to him yet because they can't because he's working for ESPN right now.
Okay.
So I guess once that wraps up, they could bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
But Jeff Van Gundy is an option because he worked with Rick Martin before, and he's with the team before. And
Another Van Gundy for the Knicks.
God.
no, only Van Gundy. Stan never coached. Only Jeff coached. Jeff coached the team in the 90s, and then he quit on the Knicks.
You know, I like Jeff Van Gundy. He's a really good guy. He's my brother, after all. That's Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah.
On commentary. If you did, that was a deep.
You know, Reggie, you're right.
And you know what, Reggie? What? You're not crediting my high school basketball experience?
Come on.
Come on, Reg. I mean, what is with all these silly fouls?
I mean, look, if you're going to foul, you got to make it a hard foul like it was back in the day.
Right? And what is Towns doing here? Right? Why are we in drop coverage? Just silly little stupid
He
drop
needs to be in
coverage.
backside help, like, honestly.
And we're not going to hedge the ball screen?
Like,
I
why?
mean, come on.
I
Honestly, would love Stan Van Gundy.
I would love Stan Van Gundy here, too.
Honestly, would be pretty funny.
I love
Would it
Stan.
result in wins? Don't know.
No.
But he would be fucking hysterical.
He'd be great content.
Oh, my God. It'd be fantastic. Just hearing him in the media. I mean, when you look at Cat, he's talking about going to bodegas and dealing with Jordan. I'm like, who is he talking about? Like, what is he play defense, right? Learn how to guard a pick and roll. What are you talking about? This, my brand. Your brand should be, I know how to play defense. That should be your brand.
I mean, look, if it was me, Towns would never had a problem on defense. If I was out there, Towns would never had a problem.
And Jalen Brunson, let's get him off the ball a little bit, right? Right, guys? Right, Reg? Come on, Reg. Right, Kevin?
Well, I don't know, Stan, about that. Anyway.
Oh, man. But,
Yes, Jeff's been probably rumored around. And now Jason Kidd's name been thrown into the mix.
not a bad option. To be honest, not a bad option. I mean, he did play with Luka. He was on that Dallas Mavericks team that did go to the finals. Granted, they did not play any fucking defense. But the bigs are really the bigs were really helpful. They rebounded good. They played good defense in the paint. Granted, Luka, maybe not the best defender, but you got other guys who I guess may be more willing.
But you know why they would make this move?
Why?
Jess, what's your favorite word? Why do things happen?
Relationships.
Because relationships. Because Jason Kidd coached Jalen Brunson in Dallas,
Oh shit, he did.
and Leon Rose dealt with him as an agent. So, relationships.
Yeah. If he gets hired, then you know I'm right.
Yep.
But is that a bad relationship? Hire?
No, that's a good question.
Would that if we're talking about these, there's bad relationship hires. Like, all right, this guy's a nepo baby. Clearly, he got
Yeah.
it because he's smoozing and smashing.
And maybe
Steve Nash.
whatever
Steve Nash.
the prior coach did, Jason Kidd can build off that. So it's not like he's like starting. He's not rebuilding a team. He's not starting from scratch.
Mhm.
He's picking up where this guy left off. And I think if you do just maybe a little bit better job or make a few adjustments with the team, you guys could be in the finals.
But my thing is like Jason Kidd as a coach has been carried by his talent a little bit.
Well, lucky for him, Nick's got a lot of talent.
He gonna get hella carried. Let me tell you, Karl Anthony Towns is a big boy. He can sit on his back. He gonna get carried. That's all right. OG Anunoby
But
he
if
looks
Mike
strong.
Malone truly is the better option, then the Knicks need to go that way and only settle for Jason Kidd if that's all they can get.
True.
Because you don't want to downgrade. If you downgrade, you're not going nowhere.
And I feel like Jason Kidd's a downgrade. I do.
Then
I
don't
feel like
hire him.
I feel like the only upgrade out there is Mike Malone. That's the only upgrade out there. I think anybody else is either an equal value or a downgrade. And if you're gonna do equal value, then what was the point? You know, I don't know. That's like Jason Kidd might be a little bit worse than Tom Thibodeau, but still worse. Jeff Van Gundy hasn't coached in God knows how long, and Jay Wright retired from basketball. Now he's gonna come back and coach modern day basketball.
Villanova boys. That's relationship. That's a bad relationship hire.
That's relationship hire.
That right there is a terrible relationship hire. Right there. It's like, come on, man. I get you. You went to college. It's different.
Yeah.
Like guys don't want to just play for you for the name. Like you gotta
Pay them.
fork up the fucking cash. So
I would say right now the big three right now probably be Van Gundy, Malone, Jason Kidd, and then Jay Wright's like the dark horse. I would say that's kind of how it's looking right now.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And
But I don't think they could talk to Mike Malone until after the finals. So we'll see how that works.
fair enough. The NBA is trying to change their All-Star format again.
Oh God.
Because that's always worked. They want to change it to Team USA versus Team World. How do we feel? I feel like anytime the NBA talks about All-Star games, I just get real sad and depressed. I don't get happy. I don't feel excited. I don't feel anything other than, I guess, maybe it could work. That's my thing. When we're talking about the NBA All-Star game, I feel like we're just beating the horse that's already dead.
Yeah, I agree. So Adam Silver was on Breakfast Ball with
There you go. Perfect.
was on Breakfast Ball with Craig Carton on FS1, and he was basically talking about this idea of he wants to do Team USA versus Team Worlds because the NBA is going to be on NBC and the Winter Olympics are going to be going on at the same time, so it's kind of timely. And you saw what the NHL did with their four nations to replace the All-Star game. And you saw how that worked, and he wants to try to do something like that. So, but here's my thing, right? Why the four nations worked and why the NBA won't work is because it was a commitment by the NHL players, right? These are players that did not get to compete in the Olympics because they can't, because they're in season. They never really get to play for their national team on a serious level against serious competition at all. And they rarely get to represent their country on a main stage like this, where they're going up against actual talent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, the best players are coming together to play for a week.
Yep.
Right? And you saw a commitment by these players to literally put their bodies on the line. And some of them really did get injured during this tournament, and they did not care because they were playing for the badge in front of them. They're playing for their country in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What the NBA is doing for the All-Star game is a novelty. Right? This isn't for a gold medal. Players have played for the Team USA before on with that level of competition because they can play in the Summer Olympics, right? And during that, it's all relationship based, right? For Team World, it's like you're pulling countries that have never played together before. You're pulling Canada, Slovenia, you're pulling Germany, you're France. So it's like, why does Team World have the incentive to play Team USA if you're still your boys? You know?
Yeah, they're still all boys.
You know what I mean? Like there's genuine rivalry between USA and Canada when they play hockey. There's a genuine rivalry between Sweden and Finland when they play each other. And the players on that team know that. And you're playing for your country in a sense of pride, in a sense of I'm playing for my country here. Mm-hmm. If you're playing for Team World, you're not playing for the world. You're not playing for your country. So what's the point? Who am I representing? That's why to me, it's a novelty. If you really wanted to make it happen, you would do Team USA versus France, versus Slovenia, versus all these teams, but you can't do that because there's not enough players in the NBA to fill out a roster unless you're doing a 3-on-3 style, which is where it could work. Why the NHL worked is because they pulled everybody from the NHL to play in the four nations. Everybody. Finland only had you could have like a 24-man roster. Finland had 27 guys they could pull from. Only 3 guys didn't make the team play in the NHL. That's just how the roster worked, right? But it worked in the sense that it was still NHL competition. Here, it's like you're pulling from a pool that is good, it's deep, it's strong, but it's like, even if I don't make it, I've played for USA before. LeBron's played for USA before many times. He won gold medals. I'm playing for an All-Star Game trophy. How much importance does that put? Here, I'm playing for the four nations. I'm playing for something that I've never played before. I'm playing for a trophy that my country has never won before. I'm playing for something that I've never achieved. Most of the NHL players don't get to go to the Olympics. They don't get to go to the World Championships in June. They don't get to go to the World. There is no Hockey World Cup, right? This is the only time and opportunity that they can play for their country. And for the NBA to try to copy that or mimic that, it just won't work because you already have that. And players at that point, that's when they'll care because you can't fuck up the gold medal game. You can't fuck up the bronze medal game. You can't mess up in the Olympics. Here, it's like I'm playing for an all-star game for a world I don't represent and for a team that I already played for. So what's the point? So you're not changing anything. So to try to copy the NHL, it's not going to work. And I still won't care about this format because it's stupid. It doesn't change anything.
Brother, you preaching right now. Woo! God damn.
I mean, but the NBA, they got to try things,
Man.
I mean,
they got to try. And you know what? That's the fucking problem. None of the players want to try. That's the problem, trying. Adam Silver's trying his damn hardest. But guess what? LeBron don't care. Steph Curry don't care. KD don't care. Devin Booker don't care. Giannis don't care. Joel Embiid don't care. Tyrese Halliburton don't care. Jalen Brunson don't care. How many more All-Stars do you want me to name? They don't give a fuck about this game. They want a break, respectfully. Mm-hmm. All they want is 5 days off. That's all. Just give them fucking 5 days off. Do this shit fucking some other time, or don't do it at all, or make it just fucking shitty and fun and like it's goofy and wacky. Who cares? Do like a one-on-one tournament style with 4 dribbles each player. Do that.
They really don't need to do any of that if the players would just show up and play like it matters. Like you're happy to be at the All-Star game.
They don't. They don't want to be there though. They're obligated.
But okay, let me say this. Like, here's what the NHL did, right? Their All-Star game format was always the same: 5-on-5, 4 lines. And it was okay. Then they drastically changed it. They changed it to 4-team tournament, 3-on-3. And the player was like, oh, this is fun. It's a fun time. It's a fun event. It's 3-on-3. It's fast-paced. And we still don't care about it, but at least it's entertaining, right? Mm-hmm. And then they drastically changed it again to the 4 nations. Now the players start giving a shit about it. Now there's actual stakes to this. The NBA hasn't changed their All-Star game format in God knows how long. It's still 5-on-5, up and down the court, mini tournament, whatever. Right? 4 teams, whatever. The NBA needs to drastically change their NBA format. Whether that's 3-on-3, 1-on-1, nations fighting against each other, whatever. The players are not going to give a shit if there's not at least some sentimental value of there could be a fun involved, where it could be competition involved, or it's a sense of national pride. Those are the only 3 things that I could see it working. So 3-on-3 would be fun. The players would have a good time. It'll be a fun little tournament, some one-on-one action. The fans will get enjoyment from it. The players will get, some trash talking from it. It'll be a fun event to go to, right? If it's a one-on-one tournament, you get trash talking, you can competition, you can mic the players up, you can get ratings from it. It could be a fun way to do an All-Star game weekend, right? And then if you do it nationally, you get pride, you get competition, you're not gonna fuck up for your nation. You're not gonna do that. So that's how it would make sense. The NBA is not changing a damn thing. It's just a rebrand with a new. It's Botox. It's Botox. Like, it doesn't change anything about who you are. At its core, it's still a bullshit game that means nothing. It needs to be a drastic overhaul from the All-Star game that the players will never buy into.
And you know what? Yeah, if I was Adam Silver, he's a player-first commissioner. If I was David Stern, God rest his soul, I would come back from the dead, number 1. And then I would immediately find all the players who I don't feel like are trying. It's up to me to gauge if you're trying or not. So you better fucking try. I don't care if you think I'm a dictator. I don't care if you think I'm doing too much. I don't care. If I don't think that you are trying, you're not trying, you're getting fined a lot of money. And what do NBA players care more about themselves?
Money.
Their money. So if you attack their money, then they'll care. Because as Americans, we're greedy bastards. We care about that fucking check. So attack their money. Fine them if they do not try. I could have fined.
How do you fine them if they don't try?
$150,000, $200K. No. Not even if they have a bad, because you could try and still not have a bad game. But if I actively see you just like strolling up the court, not caring about defense at all,
if you check
it's a fucking problem, and you're getting fined $500.
Okay, how about this? If you're in the game for more than 10 minutes, you need to score at least 10 points.
Not even that. I wouldn't even go that far. Try. I need to see effort, and hire me. I'll be the guy to choose this. I need to see effort.
The problem with that is that you're leaving up the speculation of what the defined word of try means.
No, they'll get it. I think
No,
people
they won't.
people-
No, they won't. What are you talking about?
The media will hate it, but people will naturally understand when they're trying. We have
Stephen A. is going to go in and spin. Oh, but that brother didn't try. He didn't try.
Exactly.
He scored 20 points. That's not trying. Look at him walking up the court like that. He's not trying.
But
then
here's
you
the
get the other
thing.
guy being like, "Oh, I don't know, Steven. I don't know. I think 20 points is trying in these games. I mean, if it was me, if I got 20 points, I think
There's a
that's
difference
fine to be
between
trying.
scoring 20 points and then also like not giving an effort on defense or just being lazy out there. I think there's as humans, we're really easy to catch when something is fake or phony. We're very easy to find it. Have you noticed that about the human eye?
But the minute
it's very easy to track.
But you're not
we can
wrong-
do that.
But you're not wrong.
But they
about
don't want
that.
to do that.
But you're not wrong about that. But the minute you put it into a rule and you leave it up to subjection and change and interpretation, that's where it gets fuzzy. And that's
All
where
right.
players can.
There'll be
screw it
two
up.
rules. 2 rules for the trying. Active participation in defense and offense.
That's subjective.
Active.
That's subjective. Because then what's active? This is the
This whole
problem.
thing. So they're never gonna try. This All-Star game will never
Yes!
work. Then. It'll never work. It'll never work. See, it'll never work.
Unless you put
The NBA
active stakes into it, like they did in the NHL with the Four Nations, where there was an actual prize tournament and prize money and national pride on the line. They're not gonna try
The Americans don't care about their national pride.
in the NBA, but
Only in
and
FIBA. Only in FIBA. If they
And
don't,
yes,
only in
yes,
FIBA. Only.
yes,
That's
yes.
it. That's only in fucking FIBA.
Because guess what?
During the season, they will not give a fuck.
Guess what? Because that's an actual something you can compete for, something that matters, something that gets given to you.
Tangible.
Tangible. Exactly. The All-Star game is what? You
It's
don't
a
even
shitty
you
fucking
don't even
dumb
get a
trophy.
trophy for it.
It's very shitty.
One guy gets the trophy for it. One. Your team doesn't get like if the All-Star MVP got to keep the trophy and win the team's trophy cabinet, sure. Like the Foreign Nations trophy goes to the Canada Embassy and that sits there forever. That's their trophy now. The All-Star game trophy gets handed out and thrown away.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, who? Unless
You're
it's
playing that for your country. The All-Star game, you're playing for yourself. So if nobody's playing for themselves, who cares? They're just going to give it to LeBron anyway, right? They're going to give it to Curry anyway, right? So who cares if I go out there and play? I'm on the bench.
it's never gonna be good.
Unless they drastically change their format.
I don't think the players need to drastically change their mindset.
You're not wrong about that. That will never happen in the NBA because there's nothing for them to fight for. There's nothing for them to
The
play
only
for.
way that they played hard is when Kobe died.
Yes.
That's the only
It's
time.
sad,
I've seen them
but
play
yes.
hard. That's the only time. Is when somebody passed away. You decided, let's give effort. Isn't that crazy? Imagine that. Imagine your business is dying, and then your co-partner just suddenly passes away. Oh, now you're gonna care?
Usually that's how it works.
oh,
Usually crisis spurs you into action.
Oh, now you want to care?
The NBA had 4.7
Sad.
million viewers on the All-Star game this year. It's a 13% decrease from last year, and it's the second lowest viewership in the past 3 years. They got 4.6 in 2023, so it's almost back-to-back low years.
It'll go back down. It'll maybe be at like 5.
No,
4.5.
because I think the novelty of USA World will intrigue viewers, but when they actually start watching the product, they'll be like, oh, this is the same shit all over
they'll
again.
click off.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're just not giving a fuck. Okay, so I don't care
Yes.
to watch you.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people are gonna have a preconceived notion about this as well. They're gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be trash anyway. I'm not gonna watch this shit.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look, like, okay, why the in-season tournament works to some degree is because there's a cash prize at the end of it that the team is playing for, not for themselves, but not even that, for their teammates, for the guy making the vet minimum, for the guy making the rookie minimum. That's $1 million you get to give to your guy now that's worked hard to get here. That's something to fight for and play for. The All-Star game, you're not fighting for anything. You're just there.
you're just having a fun time.
At that point, I'd rather be in Boca Raton.
It's a barbecue.
Yeah.
It's a barbecue with a basketball court there. Oh, let's just shoot around.
Yeah.
And our flip-flops and our
You're at a
shorts.
gym with your homies.
Oh, let's just fuck around.
That's
Shoot
what
the
you're
ball off
on.
the backboard, off the wall, bounce it off my foot. Who cares?
It's a very skilled gym, but it's still a gym with your homies. And people are watching. I would love to see a 3-on-3 matchup. I would love to see a 1-on-1 matchup.
there needs to be a one-on-one tournament.
I think
How are you the NBA, but you don't have a one-on-one tournament?
I think that'll be so much fun.
It's fun, ain't it?
First, that's the thing. You don't need competition. You can make the event fun for people attending and people playing in it. The 3-on-3 the NHL did was fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The event could be fun, but I don't think the players care enough to make it fun.
But if you make the idea sound fun, they'll have fun doing it. These guys, some of them don't show emotion, but they do genuinely have fun playing basketball, right? It's a fun sport to play. It's a sport you grew up playing. You have fun doing it. So if you're having fun at a high level with your boys and you're just balling out, other people will see that and gravitate towards it. If you show emotion and show passion and show like a good time, you can make it enjoyable. And they just look like they don't care out there. That's a difference. Not caring and having fun is a big difference.
Yeah. Well, the Knicks went on into the club after losing to the Pacers.
They did. Monday night.
Wow.
Before Tibbs got fired.
Wow. I mean, God forbid they keep living their lives. What do you want them to do?
Yeah, they went to the floor room in Chelsea.
Do you want them to not hang out?
I'm not going to lie, this pick with Towns and Brunson goes hard with the Empire State Building in the background.
That goes dummy. That's a good picture. I like that. So it's like, do you want them to like not care?
They're all probably a campaign got to be high here.
Campaign is high as hell. He
He's
has
high.
glasses on. Of course he does.
Jess. Smacked?
They're all smacked in there.
Push it forward. Yeah, they're all very happy.
Smacked. They're all smacked.
Yeah.
All of them. Off a perk. Off the
you
alcohol.
Don't know what they're on.
Off an Eddie. They're all smacked.
You don't know what
PJ Tucker's having a great time. Josh Hart, good for him.
Mitch left his truck.
Mitchell Robinson, God bless him. I mean, it's like, why do we care? They're having fun off the court after their season's over. Do you want them to just be super sulky and mad about it all the time?
They had a good season. Like, there's nothing to be like upset about.
They lost.
It's disappointing, but you made a conference final.
So if you lose, you can't have fun anymore? They would have, and people in the comment, oh, wait a week. What is a day going to do? Like, shut up. All these people who complain about this stuff are just bored and have nothing better to do. Next.
Let's skip NHL. We don't got time for it. The Rockies. Remember we talked about the Rockies one time?
Oh, yeah, the Mets played them when I went to Citi Field. The Rockies
Just
are
last
winning.
time we talked, they were at 50 losses.
Aren't they like 9-60 now?
No.
Oh.
They're better.
They actually swept the Marlins.
How disappointing of a fan
They also
to be the fucking Miami Marlins.
So here's the crazy part, right?
Wow, they're shit.
Here's the crazy part, right? It's their first 3-game sweep, meaning you win 3 games in a row, in a year. In a year. They haven't swept a team in a year. So that goes back to last year. They played all their games in September and in the summer. They didn't sweep a team then. They waited a whole nother offseason and all of April and May before they swept the team again.
That's baseball. That's baseball for you.
There were, I think we saw it was like, so this is a Miami-Colorado game. There were about 4,000 people at the game for a stadium that holds about 40,000 people.
That is an empty fucking stadium.
Woo!
That's fucking empty.
I feel like if you're the MLB, you should find a team if they can't sell out. If it's that low of attendance, the team's like something has to happen to the organization.
This is the third time Miami has moved. The third time. They started in Tampa Bay, then they became the Florida Marlins, and then they moved to Miami and became the Miami Marlins. This is the third rebrand.
Nobody wants this fucking misery of fucking.
They built them a stadium. They gave them everything they wanted. Got a big venue stadium, really beautiful stadium. And then
I would probably sell the team or dismantle it. I don't know.
No.
You're moving 3 times and you can't.
You want to know
put out
why?
a
You want to know why?
stadium?
It's a nice piece I have. It's a nice watch. Add to my collection. I own things. I have a boat. I have a soccer team, and I have a baseball team.
So
It's
anyway,
fun. It's cute.
the Rockies
Aw.
are now 12-50.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
God bless Colorado. They're good for them. You got to find hope in this absolute awful season. They'll probably get the first pick again. Imagine they get shafted, get like the 5th one.
They might. If the baseball, right?
Oh,
Look,
I'd be so
if
fucking
you're
pissed.
bad in baseball this year, you're bad in baseball.
Yeah.
Like there's either you're really good or you're bad. Mets and Yanks update. How the Yanks doing?
Pretty good. Just simple stuff. Max Fried shoving again. Like we're just a good team. 38-23. We're not really pulling away from like the top teams, I guess, but in our division, we're good. And there's nothing else more to say about it. Yeah, we're a good team, solid team, and just like the Mets are. The Mets are a really good, really solid team.
Yeah, just played the Dodgers, went 2-4. Probably could have won all those games, but they blew it in the ninth in almost every game.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's a really good Mets team this year. They're 39-24. They're better than I thought they were. The starting pitching still has been amazing. They're getting healthier. It's just their lineup. It just needs to be. Pete Alonso's a monster. He's an absolute monster. Juan Soto shuffling again.
I saw him home run.
Yeah.
Live in person.
You
3-run shot.
You saw Juan. Oh yeah, you went to Citi Field. How was it?
It was.
When I tell you, Yankee fan invades Citi Field.
I don't want to go back to Yankee Stadium. I am a Yankees fan. I don't want to watch the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. I want to watch them at Citi Field. The food was immaculate. When garlic fries is the best thing you got on your menu, yeah, pretty fucking easy to beat that. The first item I had beat what Yankee Stadium has entirely. So it was fun. I spent a lot of money, but I enjoyed it. Every second of it, I had so many calories. So many calories.
So specify, you went to Citi Field strictly for the food.
Yes. Food review. Yes. And it was fantastic. And also, I got like good seats for like really cheap. For like $50 each.
Well, they were playing the Rockies.
That's fair.
That's part of it.
But still, like, pretty damn good seats. You saw this?
Yeah, I know.
That was pretty damn good fucking seats I had.
Citi Field has like pretty rare like bad seats. Like I think any seats you go to, like either you're gonna see the whole field, or you're gonna see like a good portion of the field.
Yeah. And the food.
It's worth it.
Oh my god. I didn't feel like I was getting ripped off. Like, you know when you go to these venues and these stadiums, you feel like they're slapping you every time.
Mm-hmm.
They give you the food. Like, oh, here you go. But I didn't feel like that. I felt like I was winning. I don't know if that's Steve Cohen, but keep doing it. I want to go back and back again and again.
Now the game started at 1:30.
Yes, it did.
What time did you get there?
For context, it was a Hello Kitty bobblehead giveaway.
Of course.
And
I saw Beanish's video.
Yes, you did. And Daniel sent us a tweet, was like, this was the scene the hour before, and they were like sitting on the train waiting for the line, waiting to go in. So I'm like, okay, we're going to get there fucking early because we want that. It's only the first 10,000. So we're like, all right, it's going to be a lot of people. It's Hello Kitty. It was popular the first 2 days. It's an earlier game, so they'll be able to make it, right?
And meanwhile, for context, I'm calling him, texting, be like, hey, if you leave at like 2 hours before, you'll be fine. It's not going to get too crowded. You'll be if you get there at 11:30, you'll be okay, right? You wait probably an hour, but probably I'm gonna open up to 12:30. You'll be okay. If you get there at 11, you'll be okay. What time did you get there?
10:15.
First one in line.
No, there was like
That's crazy.
there was more people.
Yeah.
Than I thought. They were all like on the sides though. The gate that we went to was just right off the train station, so there was like a good in both of the lines. 25, 30 people.
We don't play without giveaways.
No,
Met fans, we don't care about. We don't
No, you do
play
not.
without giveaways.
Well, there's nothing free in NYC, so.
Yes. We got that Hello Kitty all right. Damn right we did.
And I promise you, once that area starts getting built up, there'll be places to go. There'll be bars, there'll be restaurants, there'll be places. I promise you.
Finally, because I looked around. There's Jack.
There's Jack
around there.
There's nothing.
There's Jack, and then there's shit.
Yeah. There's also fuck, and there's all.
Don't forget Jack Squat.
Yeah.
Don't forget that as well. Yep. Any other combinations of words that mean nothing are over there at Citi Field? Any other combinations?
No.
There's nothing, and then there's at all.
There's absolutely, and then there's nothing. There you go.
Anyway. What can we do? Jess, quick question. Do you know what a Roland Garros is?
No.
Do you want to take a guess at what a rolling Garros is?
A vehicle. A mobile.
She's surprisingly on the right track.
Holy shit.
Surprisingly, you're on the right track.
Well, you said rolling, so I'm expecting something that can move.
Oh no, Roland.
Roland.
Roland
Roland
Garros.
Roland.
So this is a person? Or a thing?
It's a person.
It's a person.
Oh, I thought it was a thing.
It's a person.
Is he a NASCAR driver?
No, but close.
Formula
Kinda.
51?
Think above the ground.
He's a pilot?
Okay, we're on the right track.
Oh, okay. Keep going. Keep it going. Go.
Oh, come on. I don't know what this is.
All
You
right,
got me
okay.
knocked out.
All right, so the Rolling Garros is the tennis tournament that happens every year.
Oh, okay.
The oldest tennis tournament.
It's the French Open.
What does that have to do with pilot?
The Rolling Garros is named after Roland Garros, who was a French pilot during the war.
Oh, wow. I was really on point.
You were
No.
surprisingly close.
You were like, is it a vehicle? Yes,
Yeah.
it is. A flying one at that.
I said something that was mobile.
Yeah. I was like, you're on the right. She's on the right track.
On the money off the rip. I mean, good for you, Jess.
I don't give a shit about it. I'm gonna be straight up with you.
We saw Alcaraz versus what's his stupid name? Italian guy. Aganetti?
Mazzaretti.
You trying to
Mazzaretti?
get into tennis?
He fucking quit!
Musetti.
Musetti quit!
Yeah. He won the first set 6-4. Then he lost second set 7-6 on the tiebreaker. Then he lost the third set 6-0. He got bageled. Didn't know what that term meant.
And then 2-0 into the fourth
fourth
set.
set.
He was just like, no, I'm
Nah,
not
you
good
got it,
enough.
gang.
I'm not good enough. I gotta go back to my home country. I cannot do this. I gotta give up. It was like a guy who it was like a chess master who saw the ending of a game and was like, all right, good game, like 4 moves in. I was like, oh yeah, you got me, good game. Like, what are we doing? Finish it out.
So apparently he was injured. That's why he didn't finish the set.
What hurt? Your pride? Your ego? Oh, my ego! I cannot take
I know
a
someone
defeat.
who does not watch tennis is trying to come for a tennis star.
What hurt? His pride? His ego? That's the only thing that hurt. The only thing I can see hurting. That's why you quit. His left thigh.
Musetti had treatment on the inside of his left thigh in the third set, and then again before the start of the fourth. 23-year-old was down 5-0. Hindered his movement and called for trainer again. First 2 sets were really tough. He played through it in the third. Why didn't he quit there? Why didn't he say, I'm done after that? Why did he go out for the fourth? I mean, I get it. I get it, but I don't know.
Strange.
Look,
It was strange because I'm thinking all right,
the only
he's getting whooped right now, and then all of a sudden he just gives up. I'm like, what the fuck?
The only reason why I care, because he's Italian. That's the only reason why I care about the French Open now. I could not give a shit about this fucking thing all week. Past 2 weeks, I could not care. Then I saw there were 2 Italians in the semifinal. I'm like, okay, wait a minute now. So I sit down and I'm watching Alcaraz Musetti. I'm like, this guy's getting cooked. And then he's just like, I'm done. What?
As casuals,
Was the game over or he just quit?
He quit.
he quit. He stopped. He forfeited.
He couldn't go out and continue. He couldn't continue.
Did he say why?
He was hurt.
Half Italian Jess is now pissed off right now.
See?
I am.
Yeah,
What the fuck, bro?
I'll be pissed too. You got a Puerto Rican in there. We can't finish this damn set.
Come on.
Even if you're losing, you finish it out.
If you're hurt, you finish it.
Is
It's
that
the one
how
time
you
you're going to be here.
represent?
Yeah.
What happened?
I said, is that how you represent?
Is that what you think of your country,
I
Musetti?
don't.
So we have the semifinal going on right now.
I don't even know what I just said.
We have another Italian, Janek Skinner.
Oh, Sinner's really good.
Sinner against Djokovic.
And he's Italian?
And he's Italian.
That's why he's great. Ain't it? God bless.
So that's going on right now.
Italy.
So we'll see what happens there.
Wow. They're playing right now?
Yeah.
Put it on. Turn it on. Let's go. We're going to be watching. We're about to wrap up anyway. It's fine. It's fine.
Again, the only reason is because he's Italian.
Hey.
That's literally it.
Hey, Ma, turn on Roland Garros, Ma.
Ma.
Come on.
French Open. Named after a pilot.
Come on, you were around during the war. You're old enough. Come on.
You remember? You remember?
Stop.
Come on, Ma.
Come on, Ma.
Stop.
It's Djokovic. This might be his last match ever. Come on. He's one of the GOATs. Come on.
This Mazzetti guy, not Italian. He quit.
He quit. He quit on his
You
stool.
know me? I wouldn't have quit. I would have kept going.
All right.
He's down 2-1 in the first set.
All right. Pretty much
With
just
serve.
started, so not
Yeah.
bad. Also, very prima donna of tennis. Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on. I have a sweatband.
Ball.
Ball.
Ball. Ball.
What is this?
That's the ball people
Yeah.
in tennis.
Every time after serve. Ball.
That must be terrible.
Yes. Hold on.
And then, Jess, they have to inspect. The players have to inspect.
They get like five
they
balls
get 5
in their
balls.
hand. And then they're like, no,
not
not
that
this
one.
one.
No,
No,
not
not
that
this
one.
one. No, not this
Why?
one. Put one in their pocket
Pocket.
for later. Like it's candy.
Like it's candy.
And then they fucking gotta serve.
That's stupid. That's why I don't watch tennis.
There needs to be a clock.
First of all, terrible fit.
There needs to be a set clock. Or a serve clock.
Terrible fit. We have a green polo, blue shorts, and a blue hat. Either go full blue or full green.
To be honest, I would have liked it if he went full green. Is he wearing
Right.
Kyrie's right now? Oi! Good serve. Oh, beautiful. Got him. Come on.
Hit that back.
Beautiful. I mean, you could just see the power right there from center. Hey! There you go, baby. Good, Riley.
Oh, wait. Shh.
Oh, sorry.
No cheering. Shh. Quiet. Right, here we go. Ready?
Ready?
Okay, so he'll go for the towel. We gotta see him. We gotta see it.
And
Okay.
you can't hear the grunts.
You can't hear the grunts, unfortunately.
Because it sounds like, ugh.
That doesn't sound good at all.
Like that's how it sounds. I mean, granted
Yeah, I hate the way they grunt.
they are putting full force.
Oh.
Like I'm sure. Just raise it. Raise the volume right now.
Don't. Please stop.
There you go.
There you go.
You heard a ugh. That was a hard grunt. It was like a ugh.
I was an angry one.
Yeah, he had to get it over.
Also, sweatbands on the wrist, not the move.
No, not the move.
Not the move.
Not really the move. Just get the full towel.
Either full towel or headband.
Yeah, it's very prima donna. Just a little hold on.
Just
little,
I gotta wipe.
Just gotta just a couple drops. But shout out tennis. Now, what I want to do is I want to do Merab versus O'Malley prediction right here.
Yep.
Sean O'Malley will be taking on Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 316 this weekend. And it's a rematch. It's an interesting rematch. And for me at least, it's hard not to pick Merab again because Merab's style really hasn't changed. I don't really know what Sean O'Malley has been working on, really, if he's been working on more BJJ or if he's been working on ways to, whenever he gets taken down, he can take it down on his own terms so that he's not in precarious positions on the ground with Merab, because he's not going to get held down, but he will get taken down.
Mm-hmm.
And will his striking be able to get to Merab, and will he be able to have that stamina in his arms in order to land a KO shot? Right? Sean O'Malley in the 5th round last fight hit him in the body, caught him with like a minute left, but didn't really do much with it. And it was just honestly like a very dominant performance from Merab. This is what Merab does. Takes you down, you go back up, he does it again, takes you down. Get back up, takes you down again. Get back up, take you down again. Land a couple strikes here and there, takes you down again. You get back up, take you down again, get back up, take you down. No.
Jess, this is a fight that we saw when we went to Lewis's house for his birthday.
Oh, okay.
This was a boring fight that we watched.
This was the boring fight.
Yeah.
And Merab shoots like 50 takedowns a fight. And he'll get maybe...
Was that the last time he fought?
6.
Yes.
Ooh, that's a long time.
No, he fought...
All right, no, Rob fought. O'Malley didn't fight.
O'Malley has not fought since that fight. It's been a long time. It's been last year, September.
Who did Merab fight?
He fought Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
And he beat him.
Yeah.
Clean, too. I'm going with Merab here. There's just nothing for me that can give me promise that O'Malley's going to be able to land a KO shot. Now, granted, anybody could get KO'd, but, like, I feel like Merab's cardio, the way he fights, he's not going to put himself in precarious situations to get KO'd. He's going to play his fight, and I think he'll just beat O'Malley again. Now, can O'Malley land a KO shot? Yes, but if you're betting on that, it's a pretty, like, for me at least, a bet that I'm not willing to take. Because, like, it's hard to KO people. You have to land the right shot at the right time at the right moment. And then also the guy has to not be expecting it either. So I think Merab gets it done. Again, decision. Maybe 3-2. Maybe this fight's closer. Maybe Merab wants just the round to strike with him, and maybe he gets outpointed. You know, like some shit like that. But for me, this fight, I think it's, if Sean O'Malley could KO him, great. I'm not going to bet on that. That's my opinion. I think Merab takes him down a bunch. I think he does his typical thing, pushes him against the cage, hit the leg, little rabbit punches, you know what I mean? Just landing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't hurt really, but just landing. Right? It is what it is. And maybe he can, Sean O'Malley could do something on the feet to where he can kind of negate the entries of Merab's takedowns, maybe with his kicks, maybe, filling up space in the void. That is when Merab is here standing, ready to strike, and then going for the takedown. Maybe he can, throw more punches and kicks in between that time. But we'll see. I'm picking Merab, though, to win via decision. Because that's what he does.
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with what you said. I do want to see what Sean O'Malley worked on. I do want to see if his takedown defense is better. Because I feel like if this is a fight on the feet, I give it to O'Malley, and I give it to him on scorecard, just based on damage and strikes. So I think that's going to be the big determining factor here, is how good is O'Malley's takedown defense. But you don't know, so you can't even bet on prediction like that, because you don't know what it's going to be like. So you have to go Merab just based on that, and Merab's going to be boring. He's going to get on the ground, he's going to lay on top of him, he won't go for a submission, he won't do action, but he'll win the fight.
Yep.
So yeah, I know. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with everything you said. I think everything was pretty fair. I think it's going to be determined by how good Sean O'Malley takes. Because on the fight, in the last 2 minutes, he was catching him. So I do think O'Malley has power to knock him out. I think if he can get him on the feet enough, he could possibly catch him or knock him down at least and win the fight on scorecard like that. But it's going to depend on his take, because Merab's going to keep shooting. So we'll see. And it's good on the ground too. If he gets on the ground, can O'Malley escape? Is his jiu-jitsu going to be that good to escape? Right? Has he worked on that? So we'll see.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. Sorry, the last thing. It's a lot easier to game plan and rematch for somebody who you fought already and they didn't change their style. So did O'Malley game plan properly? You had a year basically to re-game plan. So let's see.
And then you have Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison is a -750 favorite.
Let me see the FanDuel odds, because these odds kind of inflated sometimes.
Bet the house on Juliana Pena. The last time there was shit like this with favorites and odds, and this was this high, she won. You bet the house on Juliana Pena. I don't know why I'm saying this.
Okay.
And the first fight against Nunes,
she's okay. So it's a little bit down. Here it says 750, 525. Here it's Juliana 470 plus 470. I mean, either way, you bet the house.
Yeah.
It's 10 for $47 on that fight alone.
I'm going to pick Kayla Harrison, but if you're a betting man, I wouldn't mind you picking Juliana Pena to get it done. Because in the first Amanda Nunes fight, I actually picked her to win. I'm like, man, she's Latina. The odds are crazy. Just put money on it, maybe. It's only $10, right?
Yeah.
If you got it, do it. And she fucking won.
Yeah.
A lot of people were rich that night who just did the same shit that I was talking about. But Kayla Harrison's really fucking good. She's real good. She's real dominant. And there's nothing else on this card that makes me excited. So, Yeah, the UFC's
You mean you're not excited about another Kevin Holland fight?
I don't give a fuck. No one cares. I would rather eat lunch with my eyes closed than watch Kevin Holland fight again.
Would you eat lunch?
It's just a random activity. I would rather do just a random activity by myself than watch Kevin Holland fight.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Eat lunch with your eyes closed. That's a new one.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, God.
Sure. Yeah. Anything else?
Did you hear what Ryan Day said?
He said something about how there should be a difference in the spots that, like, who gets the spots.
So he said that, the college football playoffs changed their thing. They're now going to a 12-seeded bracket as opposed to a 12-team bracket. So they're going by seeding. They're not going to go by whoever won anything. And he basically was like, I think that the Big Ten should get 4 automatic spots, regardless of where they're seated. So,
didn't we just come from that though, Ryan Day?
Basically, right?
Didn't the division or like the conference winners just get the spot automatically?
Yeah.
Didn't we just come from that?
So he's saying that no matter where they finish, or like no matter where the seed, like if it's like the 4 teams are like Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon,
Penn State,
and Penn State's ranked 13th out of 12. Penn State's still going to, because they're the 4th highest seed in the Big Ten.
No.
So yeah,
no,
that's a dumb idea.
No, I don't.
Look, I get it. Ohio State's probably not going to be great next year. They'll be fine, but they won't be like the team they had this year. So he's probably trying to get his guys in regardless. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Look, I think it's a dumb idea. I think you just changed it to something better. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, because the automatic spots, I get it. You're in a better conference. Then what does the SEC get?
Exactly.
6?
5. You know, we're basically a 2-division system anyway. We're the SEC and we're the Big Ten. Pac-12 don't matter anymore. Everything on the West Coast is non-existent except for the Big West, the Mountain West.
What about the Big 12? Huh? How
Big
many spots
12?
do they get? There's not enough fucking spots. Shut up, nerd. How about that? You want a chip? Shut up.
Do you want to know what made the great?
Your job's finally secured.
Yes.
Shut up.
Sure.
Shut up. You know how many times we've been saying fire you? Shut up. You got it. You did it. Shut up.
Just take the win.
Take the win. Shut up.
Take the win.
You're good forever. Shut up.
But you want to make the playoffs great last year? You had Arizona State. You had Boise State. You had the Mustangs. You had teams, the SMU. You had teams in there that never really got the chance to show themselves, and they finally got to.
Now, granted, some of the games were blowouts.
Some of them were blowouts, but it was a good moment and it was a good opportunity. So you're going to take that away for teams that are now undeserving again. Oh, because Alabama didn't get in. We have to now reseed. Okay, fine.
Alabama would have got spanked. I'm going to keep it a stack. Alabama would have got spanked.
But if we had the automatic playoff thing, Alabama would be in because the SEC would get 4 spots, so it would make sense.
Yeah, they would have got spanked.
Yeah.
They got spanked in their bowl game. Bad, too.
Whatever. I mean, look, I think this system works. I think the 12-team playoff system works. It was fun. And they should keep it going.
I agree.
And then Saquon's on the cover of Madden.
I'm not buying it.
So
sorry. Well, not because he's on the cover, but because Madden sucks.
Yeah.
College football 2026 is going to be better. And we'll see.
Let's check it on center.
Checking on center.
Oh, he's leading now. There we go.
There you go.
There you go. 4-2 in the first set. Here we go.
How you say "there you go" in Italian? Like "let's go." Like kind of like a chant, like a little pride chant. Like "there you go, let's go."
It would be like Forza de Sena.
Forza de Sena.
So basically, Forza basically means like force, literally, but like that it's used as a term for like come on, like let's go.
Forza de Sena.
So F-O-Z-A, Forza.
Forza de Sena.
Yeah.
There you go, center. Oh yeah, get it. Was that out? Yes, it was. There you go, baby. All right, that's been the Get Back. We'll see you guys next week, hopefully in the same location. And yeah, that's been. Check out our other stuff. We got TikTok going stupid. We have the new YouTube channel. Check it out. Something fell. And there you go. That's what we got. Jess, anything else?
See you next week.
Take it easy. Peace.